Friday, our weekly live love and romance tarot reading session where we break down what's going on for each of our 12 zodiac signs for the week ahead in their love and romance area. I hope you have been having a great week, guys. Hope you have been well. Definitely an interesting time. There's been a lot of changes in the planetary transitions and energies since we last did a live stream. So we'll be definitely going over those. If you have not yet done so, if you're brand new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, reach out there, hit that subscribe button and join the dragon family. Click with that dragon claw, and also give it that dragon claw up by clicking the like button to let me know that you enjoy the content here. These are general readings, guys, so if they don't resonate with you, you may want to look at as well your moon sign, your rising. Take a peek at your personal natal chart. You can watch the readings that go along with those as well. So, you know, for the basic sun sign, a lot of people ask what's the difference. So the sun sign is the conscious mind, the conscious thoughts, the way our mind, you know, activates and the way it makes decisions on a day-to-day basis. The moon sign is the subconscious drives. Those are things that you want deep inside that help you feel connected, cozy, safe, and make you feel like you're really walking your talk, walking your life's purpose. The moon sign is a really big deal. The moon sign is a huge big deal. In a lot of astrology methodologies, the moon is almost a bigger deal than the sun because the moon is truly the subconscious drives. It's like what we want deep inside. Venus sign is obvious. That is the way we love. It's the way we socialize, the kind of people we feel comfortable being around, things like that. You know, and you can go on down the list. The ascendant, the rising sign. People always ask about the rising sign. Well, that is the sign that is on the eastern horizon when you are born. And that is why when you're calculating your personal natal chart, the time of birth is very important. And that's going to give you, honestly, the way that I feel about the rising sign, it is just as important as a planet in your chart, just as important. And it is the channel through which the rest of the chart is expressed. It really is. It's the way that you package yourself, present yourself. It's often the thing that people will first notice or perceive about you as well. So that's something that I would say big time about the rising sign, and that's why it's such an important part of our chart. So when you're looking at readings on YouTube or you're watching the readings that I do, like say, well, Ariel, you know, I'm a Pisces, but my Venus sign is in Leo, right? So if you really want to tap into your love life and your love transitions, you may get more out of the Leo reading than the sun sign reading. The sun sign is going to be more about your daily, day-to-day decision making, but they're all part of you. So hopefully that little tutorial will help explain things just a bit. But we are going to do a read for each of our 12 signs and get some messages on that. So if you're interested in a deeper, more personalized reading with me one-on-one, or if you're interested in, you know, leaving a donation for the channel, all those links and information are going to be down below in the description box. My number that you can text, my email, things like that if you want to set up a reading. And also, yeah, I have a PayPal me link, and you can also do the super chat while this stream is live. So I hope you all will take advantage of those while we are here. And let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to go ahead and start looking at the astrology chart. And here we go for the week ahead, guys. There's a lot of things in transit. There's a lot of things in motion. Absolutely. There's definitely a changing of the guard in our astrological themes. So right now we've got so much going on, guys. This past week, yes, we have our Mercury in retrograde. It's in the sign of Gemini, and it is stationed in a retrograde position, and it will be there until the 22nd. That will be our Mercury retrograde. Mercury in retrograde is often difficult. It is challenging. Communication gets twisted and ups and downs and topsy-turvy. Don't expect things to go smoothly. If you go in expecting a lot of things to go smooth, or you expect things to go, you know, a very linear, nice little path, you're probably going to get disappointed. Yeah, June 22nd is when that that Mercury retrograde ends. It is also in the sign of Gemini, so you know that just gives it a double whammy, because Gemini is a Mercury ruled sign, so it absolutely does throw us for a loop in our communication world. Double check your work, double check your spelling, double check your messages. Think about something twice before you send that message in the first place. Was it really necessary? You know, especially if it was done in the heat of the moment, because, you know, things done or said in the heat of the moment during a Mercury retrograde, you probably will definitely regret or rethink them after Mercury goes direct. Things that happen during a Mercury retrograde, don't take them too hard. Like if someone says they're breaking up with you, or if something changes that you don't like, don't take it too hard, because, you know, things done in a Mercury retrograde never stay that way. They never stay that way. They always change in some way after they go direct. So it's not a good time to do things where it's a finalization. I'm leaving and that's that. Yeah, right. Mercury retrograde come back around, kick you in the rear and make you go, oh, you know, but I don't think I really meant to say that. Likewise, it's not the greatest time to make big purchases, get married, or do other big irrevocable kind of things. It's very, but it is very good for finishing up old projects, taking care of back taxes, old paperwork, cleaning out the house, things that you've been meaning to do, or maybe put off. It's a great time to do all those things during a Mercury retrograde. It's excellent. And you know how you know it's a retrograde, we always see that little RX next to the bottom of the planet. So you can tell which of our planets are all in retrograde. Let's see down here. Yes, we have Pluto in retrograde. There's our little R. Saturn just went into retrograde. Oh, yeah. So, you know, with all this energy, I would say that, you know, a lot of things are slowing down and they're going into review. We have a waning moon this week. Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde. We're definitely rethinking a lot of things, planning a lot of stuff. Your energy may just not feel as up. It may feel a lot slower, a lot more sluggish. I certainly was feeling that way yesterday. I basically just rested all day, had a headache. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother pushing through this. Today we do have the moon in Aries, so we do have a little nice fire kick going on there. Mars is at its last degrees of Cancer right here. It will be going into the sign of Leo on the 10th. And or is the 11th, 10th or 11th, it's one of them, depending on your time zone. So we will get a shift up from Mars. I am looking forward to that, because Mars is much better expressed in a fire sign than a water sign. The sun, of course, is still traveling along about halfway through Gemini. So happy birthday to all my Geminis out there. Hope you are having a wonderful month so far. And a big thing that I will say for my Geminis is that for most of you, you will be experiencing your birthday during this Mercury retrograde. So that's going to put that retrograde in your solar return for the year ahead. And what I will give you as a big point of advice on that is, for the year ahead until your next birthday next year, I would recommend doing things that have worked for you in the past. If something you've done in the past has worked for you or turned out well, do those things again, because with that return energy, it does bring that to the forefront. It's not as good of a year for starting or initiating giant new projects, but it is a great one for doing things that have been positive for you or turned out well for you in the past. So that's something I will give you as a big heads up for all the gems that have a birthday during this season. So let's go ahead and start with our tuning forks and our sage and sweetgrass. We're just going to clear out the space, clear out the energy for everybody. And I hope everyone's doing. Hey there, David. I hope you're good. We've got a good many people already in the chat now. So hey there, Leslie. So Leslie, we've got Eric is here. Who else is here? I think Ian's here. We've got a couple folks. You never really know what's going on on a Friday. Sometimes people are in, sometimes they're out. I've definitely noticed that things have been slower since the you know, weather started getting prettier. That's always the way it is. Yeah, it's better to stay out of the mind, if you ask me, and the mind can be a very troubled thing. Try not to get too much into the mind. It's a stress machine. I think you got a sweet tooth, David. Gelato cake? Holy cow. And today I'm doing the Sun, the Earth, and the Venus forks. These are very nice and grounding. Also helps bring in some of that good love energy for our Friday Venus ruled day. That's always why I do love reads on a Friday, because Friday is a Venus ruled day. Ah, I understand. Okay, David. I was gonna say that sounds like a lot of dessert. All right, guys. Okay, I think Eric is in here, but I don't think I have any other moderators besides him right now. So if anyone acts up, he will be on the job and I will be on the job too. Because I've dealt with enough foolishness for the year over the past month in here, and I am not afraid to ban people or clock them out. That's for sure. I am done with all that silliness. All right, Mr. Dragon, are we ready to go? Yeah, we're ready to go. Hey there, William. Good to see you. All right, guys, we're going to start in with Aries, folks. We're going to start out our time with our first sign of the zodiac, good old Aries. Let's see what we've got for them. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, guides. Let's see what we have, please. Messages for Aries for their love and romance energies this coming week. Please show us any guidance, anything that they need to know. And let's start out with one main keyword for their week ahead. Aw, so Aries, you got the keyword of beautiful. So beautiful is probably what's coming up. Beautiful week ahead. This could be a time when it's really good to, you know, beautify your surroundings. Cleaning out, we talked about cleaning out the home. That's a really good thing to do during a Mercury retrograde. So anything that makes your house feel cleaner, clearer, it's going to help it flow better. This could be a good time for some self-love and self-care. Doing your nails, you know, taking care of yourself, taking that sea salt bath, lighting your candles, doing whatever it is that makes you feel beautiful from the inside out and also surrounds you with beauty itself. You might even want to buy yourself some flowers or something to put around your house. That would be a very positive thing to do. So let's get into your tarot messages for the week ahead. Let's see, Aries, please. Love and romance to your spirit for this week coming up. Yeah, I think you're going to be doing some regrouping this week, Aries. Yeah, you're definitely rethinking some things. There's some planning, some re-strategizing. We're starting out with the Seven of Swords, so you may be dealing with somebody that is not the most honest, doesn't have the most integrity, or you may be kind of going back and forth wondering if they're really being honest with you, whether or not you actually know it yet. This is definitely, you know, one of those sneaky cards. Seven of Swords is somebody that's not the most honest, not the most forthright. And I could also say that simply because of this, you know, Mercury retrograde, this is also gets into that miscommunication energy where it's like people say things, you don't hear them right, or they swear up and down, no, I never said that, or yes, I definitely told you, that kind of thing. So you may be doing a little bit of, you know, investigating or looking below the surface to find out if this person is really what they seem to be, or really presenting themselves in an honest way. Because in general, Aries, you're the kind of sign that, you know, you're very upright, you're upfront, you know, you're very direct. You're not someone that plays a lot of guessing games. It's like if Aries likes you, they like you, and you know it. If they love you, you know it. If they don't like you, you definitely know that too. So let's get a clarifier on the Seven of Swords for Aries, please. See what that's about. Ooh, the sun. Yeah, so I feel like, ooh, this is a week where things that are in the dark probably going to get brought to light. And you may like it and you may not like it, right? Some of these things I feel like you might have suspicions and then you find out, oh, I had nothing to worry about, right? The sun is a very positive card. If it was something you needed to worry about, likewise, that gets revealed too. And you're going to feel better because you know the truth, right? This truth will set you free. Right in the center, the big reasons I feel like you're doing some definite mulling things over. You're definitely doing some planning and rethinking. Here's the wise counselor. There is the Taurus energy in this. So you may have, you know, a close friend, a good counselor, therapist, etc. Somebody that can really help you quite a bit this week. Somebody that gives you good grounding, good advice, knows the right things to say. So let's see what we have coming up in the center here. Yeah, Five of Cups. And what it's about is counseling you through some of this potential grief. You might be mourning something that has been disappointing or difficult for you to get through, but they're also going to help you to remember, Aries, you know, you might be struggling with something this week temporarily, but behind you, the Two of Cups is still standing. Things are not all lost. You do still have this great potential for love, healing, heart connections. So don't let, you know, a temporary setback or something that's been disappointing to you ruin your look for the future, right? So going into the immediate future, we do have the Knight of Pentacles, and this is what gives me that feeling that you've got your eye towards the future and creating a better plan. Definitely some Taurus, some Capricorn, some Virgo energy coming into your reading this week, Aries. There is definitely that feeling of grounding, stabilizing, coming back to center. And our Knight of Pentacles is the most successful knight of the tarot. He makes a good plan. He sees it through. He's prepared. He doesn't just go off halfway ready, right? So I feel like whatever it is that you're working on, you know, it might take a little while to get there, but you're like, you know, this time I'm going to succeed. This time I'm going to do what it takes to make it to the finish line. And that's a very helpful card on your side. King of Swords. Yeah, did I say? Wow. Aries, this is definitely a week of the master strategy, master plan, coming up with something that's really going to work for you. And I feel like in a lot of ways you're kind of detaching from some of these heavier emotions or dramas to get there, because the King of Swords is very much that Aquarius energy. It's in its mind, it's in its logic, it uses its calm, rational thinking to make its decisions. On the bottom, I saw this before I started reading. Look at that, King of Swords as well. I'll keep wanting to call it King of Wands because that's you, Aries. But the King of Swords is coming up here twice in your reading for the week. And to me, that is all about having a master plan. Ten of Swords also tells me that you're coming to the end of a difficult cycle. There could be something upsetting or troubling that goes on in your love life, or you may be getting news about someone that you don't really like. I hate to say that, but that's, you know, that's definitely what I feel for this. Obviously, this is general. It's not going to resonate with every Aries, but you know, if you do get this kind of upsetting news about someone, I think you're going to be really working to come back to center. I think you'll kind of quickly move through the disappointment. I don't think it's going to hang on to you for too long, but you're going to detach a lot from, you know, those messier emotions so that you can make a good plan and form a good strategy for going forward. It could be, you know, that you kind of recollect and say, you know what, I have all these things that I want to do in the future. That's the King of Swords. You know, I want to do things in the future that are going to bring me happiness, going to bring me, you know, stability. And those are the things you're going to start focusing on big time this week. If you're in a relationship and the disappointment stuff doesn't come into it, because that may not for everyone, this to me is a very positive week as well, where you really say, you know what, I want to do something with you. I want to, you know, forward our plans. I want to forward our goals. And you're looking at it very logically, very clear, very rational. So let's get an affirmation on this week for you, Aries. Yeah, major life change. I do feel that for some of you guys out there. Yeah, major life change. Time is right for major life changes. New lifestyles or locations bring great joy and a trouble-free existence. So for some of you, you may literally be planning a move. You may be planning a move this week, Aries, because we do have that Knight of Pentacles, and it may be something where, you know, it could have been a long time coming for some of you. It could have been a long time coming, and you're like, yeah, this is just a natural part of it. And if some idiot has disappointed me or let me go, that's fine, because I was ready to get out of here anyway. That's a little bit of the feeling I get. Wow, what a reading. That's quite a week for you, Aries. Aries always brings the heat. That's why they're number one. All right, let's get into Taurus, guys. Let's see what we have for our cows and bulls out there, our beautiful agrarian Taurus folks. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, show us what we've got for our beautiful Taurus people out there for their love and romance messages this week ahead. Please bring through whatever energies and guidance they need for their highest good. And let's start out with one main theme for their week ahead, please. We have the card of children, Taurus. So children may be affecting your love and relationship life this week. For my singles, you may be meeting somebody who already has kids. You may be hoping, if you have kids, do they like my kids? If you have adult children, they may be weighing in on something, or you may be making that decision with someone, should we or should we not have children in our life in the future? So that is definitely weighing on your love life this week. Let's get into your tarot, Taurus. Let's see what messages are coming through for you guys. Wow. Wow. What? Taurus, we've got some very similar vibes that Aries had. I think it's very interesting because you were showing up in Aries reading in a big way, and now they're showing up in yours. So if you are an Aries with Taurus placements or working with a Taurus, this reading is definitely probably for you as well. And Taurus, if you're dealing with an Aries, definitely pay attention to this. All right, so we're starting out with the King of Swords. King of Swords is strategy, decision making. It's independent energy. It's Aquarius. So you really are in that place of standing up for yourself, you know, doing what's right for you, being very authentic to yourself, and not making decisions so much with like a lot of messy, emotional, dramatic displays. It's more like, let's just be clear about this. Let's be calm about this. Sometimes it certainly puts you in the role of diplomat, you know, in your relationships or in your family dynamics, because you're the one that has to remain, you know, impartial, respectful, all that kind of thing. So let's see what we have. Let's see. The other thing that sometimes can come into this is a feeling of coolness in a relationship. Like you may be feeling like someone's holding you at arm's length, or maybe you're holding them at arm's length. For some of you, that could be a thing as well. So let's get a clarifier on the King of Swords for Taurus, please. Let's see what he's all about. Knight of Swords. So you got a lot to say. And you might be really dealing, yeah, with a lot of people coming at you this week with lots of information, lots of ideas. This is definitely some more air energy. We got our king and our knight. So rushing through with a lot of things to say, a lot of stuff on their mind. Big time. So right in the center, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Aries had this card as well. So again, two big master strategy kind of cards coming up into this reading. You know, King of Swords and Knight of Pentacles to me are both, you know, archetypes in the tarot that make a lot of plans to go forward. They really do. They put the ideas, the thoughts, the practices out there. They prepare well, right? They roll the map out, or they draw the plan, they draw the chart. And so it's very much about making a good plan to go forward for the future. And I feel like you might be having a lot of people bending your ear about it. You know, they might really just be coming at you and you're like, I can only think about so much here, guys. And because we are in a Mercury retrograde, that could feel especially tiresome, right? You know, because a lot of it just goes in one ear and out the other. And you're already dealing with so much of your own thought and energy that you don't really have time to take theirs in. Right in the center, we have Two of Pentacles over top of this Knight of Pentacles. So this is about personal balance. Take things one day at a time this week. Very much one day at a time. Don't get too, and you know, I think that you're really in that place where you want to plan for the future. Other people might be pressuring you as well to plan for the future, and you may feel the anxiety and stress of that. But this is reminding you, things don't get built overnight. Take it one day at a time, Taurus. You know, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles is earth energy, which is you. And your power card is coming up into your reading as well with the wise counselor. Same as the Hierophant card. There is our big Taurus energy. So not only do I feel that you are strengthened this week, ultimately, I feel like you are emerging as a very strong figure in your own reading this week. But I feel like a lot of people are seeking you out for counsel. A lot of people, including, you know, your love interest or potential love interest, seeking you out, wanting your time, wanting your advice, asking you which way that you think that they should go or that you should go together. And it's really all about you using your own wise mind. You've got to use your own wise counsel. And sometimes, Taurus, that means saying, not right now. Sometimes that means saying, I'm overwhelmed right now. Give me a couple weeks until, you know, Mercury comes out of retrograde, and then I'll have a much better answer for you. Yeah, look at this. And I knew it. Like Aries and Taurus, very linked up in this week's reading. So we've got the King of Wands on top of the Hierophant. We also had the King of Swords. There's that Aries energy. If you're a Taurus with an Aries, this is definitely very strong for you. Or a fire sign, could also be a Leo or Sag, but I definitely feel more Aries in this particular card. Somebody wants something from you. They may just want you. Like, they may just want you, right? You know, and it's like you really... You've got to make a decision about that. You got to make a balanced decision. Look at that Justice card on the bottom. Yes, Taurus, you're being called to be the diplomat. You're being called to be the wise, impartial, you know, justice, you know, judge sitting there. Okay, I'm going to make a decision that's coming from not only my heart, but also my head. Look at that. So on the bottom, we have the World card. Here, Taurus. So I feel like there's some kind of major completions, you know, something's coming very full circle in your life this week. This is some Saturn energy. We also have all our fixed signs in this card: Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus itself coming back up. This is kind of a powerful reading for you. And in your love life, wow, there's a lot of long-term planning energy going on here. A lot of decision making. Try not to let it stress you out this week, Taurus, and stay in the moment. That is my biggest advice for this week. So let's get into your affirmation. And we have luck. You got a little luck on your side here this week, Taurus. Love to see that. A sudden change of luck is likely. Things are working in your favor. Excellent time for networking. So in spite of the retrograde, you do have a little luck on your side. This is very good. And if you need to defer or put off major decisions until after the 22nd, go ahead and do it. But overall, yes, Make good plans. Don't stress out about things that you can't answer or solve right away. Take it one day at a time. It's not a bad week. I think it's a week where you really emerge in a powerful way, which is nice. All right, guys and gals. I'm going to tap these cards out with the selenite magic wand here. And let's get into Gemini. Happy birthday to all my Geminis. It is your season, absolutely. I know that you're all dealing with that Mercury retrograde, as all of us are right now, but don't worry, it will not last forever. It will not last forever, Gemini. So let's get into your love messages for the week. Dear angels, guardian guides, ancestors, please show us our beautiful Geminis. What do they have coming up, working with this week in their relationship and love life? Please show us our Geminis. Ooh, it's about the money. Gemini, money is affecting your love life this week, so let's see what comes up there. This could be you getting a better job, your honey getting a better job. You could even have questions or issues about money. Hopefully it's not that more stressful side of it, but we know that that is something that comes up in love very frequently, is arguments, conversations, and issues about money. So let's see what we've got in your tarot to expound upon this theme. Please, Spirit, show us what you have for Gemini in the tarot for this week ahead. Was that a firefly? I have a firefly on my window. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. I saw his little flash. Oh, I love fireflies. I don't see them enough. I don't see them as often as I did when I was a kid, but when I see them, I get really excited. All right, that's a good omen, right? Ooh, yeah. Oh, Gemini, here we go. This card's coming up. You know, it doesn't surprise me. This is a 7 of Swords coming out here first, Gemini, and to me, that is so much about somebody not being honest, somebody not working with integrity, somebody not being truthful. And so for some of y'all, you may be thinking about this. You may be wondering if this is something that someone's doing or not saying. Because of that money thing, there you could be feeling like, did somebody go into my account and take something out of it without telling me? Let's get into a clarifier. May not be a bad idea to like change up your passwords and things like that this week, Gemini. I'm just saying. Don't make you paranoid, but I would do that just to protect yourself a little bit when that card comes up, and the money card too. Let's get a clarifier on the 7 of Swords, please. Yeah. Oh, that's This is a rough one. That's a rough one. There's no doubt about that. So Gemini, absolutely guard your heart this week. You could be dealing with somebody that really isn't very honest. Could even be running a love scam. Those kind of things exist online where, you know, they fake a relationship with you to try to get money out of you. Absolutely guard yourself against this, because 7 of Swords and 3 of Swords, that's a real heartache. That's a big disappointment. That's somebody lying to you, somebody not being honest, somebody not being honest with themselves. You know, this is somebody operating with a broken heart and taking it out on you. So right in the center, we've got the 5 of Pentacles. This is that feeling of being left out in the cold. And so if it's you feeling left out in the cold, Gemini, I don't want you to stay in that position or that place. Again, this could be somebody took advantage of you financially. So if you feel like that's coming, or if you feel like that's potential, please do protect yourself, because this is some major messages here. The 5 of Pentacles can sometimes be those financial fears and things like that. But to me, this is really someone that feels kind of cut out, you know, cut off from spirit, cut off from the warmth of, you know, heart connections and things like that. So if you are feeling that way this week, definitely make the decision to get up and get warm. Don't stay out in the cold. Don't stay out in a place where you're just lonely and isolated. You know, talk to your friends, talk to your folks, talk to the people that you know have your back. That's going to help go a long way to making you feel so much better. Yes, look at this with the Chariot right here. So to me, coming out of that, leaving a bad situation behind or leaving a difficult state of mind behind with the Chariot. This is doing a little subconscious work here, Gemini. And this is the Cancer card, you know, this is that Cancer energy. So it really does say to go the distance, go to the next step in your subconscious healing, right? Your heart healing. And it really is about balance, so much about balance. And Gemini, you are a dual sign. You have two very distinct sides of yourself. So this could also be really encouraging you to balance, heal, and unify those two sides of you and make those moves forward. Don't stay in a bad position if you feel like you're in it. 8 of Wands is coming in at the end of the week, so I do feel like things will be moving very quickly this week overall, especially towards the end of it. This can be a lot of messages coming in, a lot of forward movement. It's Sagittarius energy, so it definitely gets the motor running. Sometimes it can be stress because there's a lot of positive opportunities or things that are coming your way that are really good. So if there are a lot of things coming in and just landing on your desk and it's like all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I got all these calls, I got all these texts, I got all these things to look through. That's a positive thing, but you may need to pace yourself just a little bit. In a love reading, many times the 8 of Wands is those Cupid's arrows of love or passionate communication flying through the air. So if you're getting messages from someone else, even if you got your heart broken a little bit this week, could be a good thing. Could be a rapid turnaround of energy here. Let's clarify this 8 of Wands for Gemini. 2 of Swords. You got some decisions to make here, Gem. You do. Many times you do. That's some Libra energy with the 2 of Swords. So you may feel pulled in 2 different directions. Wow. For some of you, this could be one of these people. It could be the heartbreaker. One of these people could be somebody that's really good for me. Which one should I go towards? We've got a lot of air energy with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius on here. We've also got some Sagittarius and Cancer on this reading. On the bottom, look at this. Our King of Swords is coming back up yet again. There's the strategist. There's the thinker. There's the person that really takes their time to think things out from a more emotionally detached place. It's also more Aquarius energy. So it is about being authentic and true to yourself. And on the bottom, we do have the Hermit. So take a little time for inner work, inner healing. Do what you need to do. Don't feel like you have to go right back out into the social circle here, Gemini. If you need to do some work on yourself, do some work on yourself. Don't feel bad if you got to do it. Let's get an affirmation for you on this reading. Ooh, we got the sexuality card. All right, so existing relationships could find a new passion and heightened attraction. Opportunities for marriage and good family life are strong, but if single, beware of temptation that could lead to trouble. That, yeah, I feel that very strongly because for some of you, there's going to be that passionate movement. We've got that 8 of Wands going on, which can be very fiery, very, very magnetic. And yeah, I would say that if you are single, be careful of who you're dating and meeting this week. Make sure that they're who they really say they are and what they really say they are, because there's definitely, there is a little bit of that potential for dishonesty. There's dishonesty, deceit. Somebody could be running a scam, literally. So just be watchful, Gemini. It's a definite warning sign. And you got that 7 of Swords with 3 on top. All right, let's get into Cancer, guys. Y'all are quiet tonight. Y'all are quiet tonight. I almost didn't do a live tonight because I've been really tired. I almost just didn't even do it. All right, so Cancer, let's see how you are doing this week. Hope all my Cancers are well. Hope you are feeling good. Hope you are relaxing. Venus actually just went into your sign, Cancer. Venus just went into your sign this week. And that definitely is going to be a nice vibration for you. That's definitely going to feel good. A lot of my Cancer folks are in a little bit of a funk right now, and it's simply because that Gemini energy is moving through the 12th house. It's moving through that 12th house universally for you guys. So let's get into a reading for Cancer, please. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us what's coming up for Cancer in their love and relationship reads. Let's start out, please, with one major theme for the week. Whatever they need to know and hear for their highest good, please. Courage, Cancer. Yeah, have courage. I think that's very important this week. Because, yeah, you are facing down a lot of deeper interior emotions and a lot of things that are going on within you. Yeah, there definitely are. You're going to need to rally your strength, rally the troops here, Cancer. Also would say that, you know, this is the week where Mars is going to be in the last couple degrees of your sign. And that definitely makes you moody. Mars in Cancer makes us all kind of moody. I can absolutely agree with that feeling. Let's get some tarot on this, please, for Cancer. Nice cards. Nice cards, actually. We got the Three of Wands here starting out. So to me, this is that energy of, you know, not needing to chase anything down. Let it come to you. What's meant to be yours will return to you, Cancer. So if you feel like you've put out a lot of energy, effort, time, and care into a relationship or into connecting with someone or someone's, let them come to you. Don't continue to chase them down. There's no need to do that this week. Just kick back and relax. You've already said your piece. You've already put out what you needed to. Let's get a clarifier on the Three of Wands. And we have the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, this may be a really kind of a nice week to sit back, think about your future, think about what you're wanting to invest in or go towards in the future. I love that Page of Pentacles there, because to me, that's our little adventure. That is definitely like, you know, saying, okay, what do I want to do next? What kind of business do I want to start? What kind of school do I want to go to? What kind of class do I want to take? What kind of place do I want to live in? So chill out this week, Cancer, as much as possible, and just maybe daydream or write down ideas about what your next adventure would look like. What would it be like? What would you invest your time and your energy and resources in if you were going to? Yeah. Hey there, Shanta. Good to see you in the chat, sweetheart. I miss you, babe. In the middle, we have the Four of Cups. So to me, yet again, this is about not procrastinating too much and also not focusing only on the things right in front of you to the exclusion of seeing the good new things that could be coming in to the side, right? Because I think that that's something that we all are guilty of. And in a love reading, of course, this could be saying, Cancer, that you're only focusing so much on, you know, one person or one relationship working out. Especially for my more like single and maybe dating casually Cancers, there may be somebody that's really caught your eye and you're very, very focused on them. And so you haven't been really taking any messages from anyone else, but you might want to, because some of those might be really good, especially if the one that you've got your eye on has really kept you waiting or has stood you up a couple times, right? So let's see what clarifies this Four of Cups for Cancer. The Hermit. Take some time. Go within. Feel this out. Oh my goodness. There is that Virgo energy right there. For some of you, it could be a Virgo that you're very focused on to the point of excluding other people. And for some of you, this is just time to take a little minute and go within and do some inner work, because the Hermit is all about taking some time to ourselves to do some inner healing, right? to really tap into our subconscious. And Cancer, you are all about the realm of the subconscious. So take a little time, listen to what those whispers inside are telling you, right? We always know. We always know. We just get real confused by our heads. On the outcome card, we have the Two of Wands. So to me, this is a card of new beginnings, you know, potentially going towards something, you know, fresh and exciting with someone else many times, right? It many times brings that partnership. But I really do get this like overall feeling this week, Cancer, on this read of kind of like looking at the future. You haven't really taken the steps for it yet. You're kind of sitting back and formulating the plan, or, you know, coming up with the dreams or the ideas. And it's really saying, where are we going to go next? What's the next step? You know, to me, it's like, look at the Page of Pentacles and then look at that Two of Wands. Very similar feeling of energy behind these cards, right? They're both holding something in their hand. You know, she's holding the little pentacle, the coin of worth. Where am I going to plant my resources? They're holding the world and saying, let's spin that globe. Where are we going in the world? Where's our next adventure happening? Very similar energy. And you may be feeling this, not just in the love area, not just in the love area. This is also in work. It's also in travel. It's where you want to live, all that kind of stuff, I feel. This is a lot of different things going on all at once. Ten of Swords, yeah. Well, I know where you do want to go, Cancer. It's away from any of this old baggage. It's away from any of the old emotional stress, strain, and strife that you may have felt. Any old feelings of being betrayed, old heartaches, old wounds, right? Because that's a closure to all of that. So it's really like you want to go to a fresh beginning that doesn't include any of that stuff. Yeah. And yes, look at that Hanged Man. Yeah, I mean, there's really that feeling of one cycle hasn't completely finished and the next one hasn't completely started, and you're really balancing and weighing your options here. This is also something where I feel like you've got to release, some things before, some baggage, before you can completely move forward. Wow, definitely. Wow, Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, and the Hanged Man. This is a week for letting some things go. No wonder this Courage card came in here, because you are gonna, it's gonna take a little strength. No doubt that takes a little strength to, you know, look at all of that and say, all right, what do I need to release? What do I need to take forward with me? Who do I need to keep? Who do I need to release? Oh, that's a lot of emotions. That's a lot of inner work and outer work too, Cancer. What a week ahead. Let's get into an affirmation for Cancer, please. I like the luck card coming out for you guys. Yes. I do like that. A sudden change of luck is likely. Things are working in your favor. Excellent time for networking. So Cancer, in spite of you needing to do some deep inner work and all that good stuff, there is something moving in your favor. Yeah. So I feel like these movements and these transitions and these ups and downs and potential moves, there's some potential moves in here, are really going to work out in your favor over time, even if it seems a little challenging this week. Not bad. This is a really nice read. It feels really, really unique. It feels very, very unique to you. All right, guys. Howdy, HP. Good to see you in the chat, hon. Bit of a slow night here. I had a bad headache last night. I couldn't do anything last night. I just stayed in the bed. Took it easy. There was no other option. There's no other option. You take the one you got. Take the one you got. All right. Leo. Hope my Leos are doing good out there. Good to see you guys. Yeah, Leo, we're going to get ready to have a few things moving into your sign. Mars is going to move into your sign next week, which is going to be great for you. And great for everyone, because Mars is so much better expressed in a fire sign. So I'm looking forward to that. And then later at the end of the month, after Venus does its transit through Cancer, we will be moving into Venus in the sign of Leo on the 27th. So looking forward to some good stuff for Leo. this month. Let's see what we've got for you for this week for your love and relationship messages. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Leos in their love and relationship life. Any messages they need for their highest good, please. And let's start with one main theme for their week ahead. And friendships are coming up as your key word for the week, Leo. You know, this could be a friendship that blossoms into a romance. This could be somebody that you meet as a result of your friends. This could be your friends giving you some good advice about love and relationship this week. But overall, a very nice feeling of friendship coming to the surface. It's a good card. Let's get into your tarot. Let's see what we have for our Leos. Dear Spirit, for their love and romance. All right, Leo. Good sleep all night. Oh my goodness. We've got the Nine of Pentacles coming out here. So I feel like you and your own energy, you're flourishing pretty well as far as, you know, work, business, anything that you've had going on that you're working on, you're feeling pretty good within yourself. Nine of Pentacles is excellent. It's enjoying the fruits of your labors, doing something nice for yourself this week. This can be happy self-employment or just employment in general. Whether you're single, coupled, or in a relationship, Leo, this is a very positive card. Let's get a clarifier on this for you. Woo! Very nice. Queen of Pentacles on top of the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like you are just in a very strong, very grounded, good place. Good with work, good with employment. Even if you're just looking for a job, you're feeling very good about it. But I do feel with these, this is just like, I've been working hard and I'm feeling good about what I'm doing. I'm feeling very, very self-satisfied. This energy feels more single than coupled always, because to me this is like single and loving it. It's like, I don't care if I have someone or not right now because I'm just enjoying my life. And these two cards, the Queen of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, and the Empress, are all very similar. Very Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, very earthy, grounded energy. For some of my Leos in a relationship, you might be with an earth sign or working with an earth sign this week, because that is very much that energy. Right in the center, we have the Ten of Swords. So I do feel that this is a week where some of you may be cutting something or someone out. Some of my Leos might literally be walking out the door and saying, you know what, I'm done. You're not treating me right. You're not giving me what I want. I need a break. Or if you've been through a betrayal, or if you've been through somebody that just hasn't treated you well, you are at least taking a break. May not be a permanent break, because we are in a Mercury retrograde, guys, and those things have a hard time with creating permanence. But, you know, there's something where you're putting your foot down. There's an end of some sort of situation that's bringing a sense of relief. It's like, oh, finally, opportunity for new happiness, weight off of your shoulders. Yeah, you are so taking matters into your own hands this week, Leo. We have our Emperor card clarifying that that is the Aries energy, and that's definitely about putting your foot down. Holy goodness. I feel very strongly for whoever is resonating with this, Leo, this is like the end of somebody or something that hasn't been treating you right or isn't giving you what you want. You're just like, nope, I'm out. It might be a bit stressful. It might make you feel a little bit like, did I do the right thing? Or you might be overthinking it a little bit at night with that Nine of Swords. Or they might be, very possible, they might be, oh my gosh, Leo's mad at me. It's like, yeah, they might be. But let's see what's clarifying this. Why is the Nine of Swords here for Leo, please? Eight of Wands, lots of thoughts. Oh my goodness. And as a result, Leo, you might get a lot of messages from this person. You putting your foot down, geez, it gives them kind of a wake-up call. It really does. It might signal that, like, hey, you didn't pay attention. You didn't pay attention. Well, when I walked out the door, you paid attention. And then they start messaging you like crazy. Or they're at least like, they can't stop thinking about it. Wow. Leo, you are on fire this week. Look at this on the bottom, the Strength card. That is one of the Leo power cards in the tarot. Look at that. Look at that happy lion getting his crown put on. This to me is such a powerful card. It's the number 8 in the tarot, and it's also that symbol of ourselves as humans, right? Because the lion is that symbol of our humanity, our emotions, our passions, our anger, our, all that stuff. And the woman, the angel or the spirit, she is that symbol of our divine spirit, our divinity that helps to calm and balance all of those emotions that are represented by the lion. So I feel like you've got a lot of courage on your side. You've got good friends on your side. Look at this 10 of Wands. You are done and done. You are ready to put down some kind of heavy burden with a 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. You're like, I'm wrapping it up. Chuck, out the door it goes. Yeah, I feel like in love relationship this week, Leo, you're definitely standing your ground, putting your foot down. It's like, you're either going to treat me right or I'm out of here. It's so powerful this week. If they haven't been right with you, they're going to know it. They're going to know it, and they're probably going to be all up in their head about it too. Let's get an affirmation on this read for Leo, please. You may be as well for some of you. I just feel like there's this newfound like confidence that maybe you didn't have before this week, and you finally like got your fire up. Interesting enough, our affirmation card for you, Leo, is also friendship. Friendship is a big deal. You've got good friends. You've got real good friends, Leo, and they're going to be on your side, whatever it is you're going through. Friendship and friendship coming up for my lions this week. A friend may need your help. Your kindness and excellent counseling skills will put them back on track, and vice versa, right? I think it's like you're gonna like be there for each other big time this week. But you're coming through very nicely. Like, you're not the one that's the problem. Someone might be causing you a problem, Leo, but you're not the problem. It's just true. Oh my goodness. These are great. All right, guys. Let's jump on into Virgo. I cannot wait to see what comes up. A lot of my Virgo buddies are going through it this week. I tell you, this has been a very interesting love week for Virgo. So let's tap these cards too. Let's make sure they're nice and clear. All right. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us our beautiful Virgos. Let's see what's coming up for them and their love messages this week. Anything that they need to know for their highest good, whether they're single, coupled, or in separation. It could be for anyone. And please, let's start out with one main theme card. Let's see what Virgo's got as their theme for the week. Aw, see, I keep telling my Virgos this, but I don't think they believe me. Light the candle of hope, guys. Don't completely extinguish that. If you feel like you're going through the journey in the dark, light the candle, Don't go it alone, and don't extinguish all hope for the future. Don't extinguish all your hope, whatever it is you're going through in your love life. And I know it can be very hard. Trust me, I've been there. I've been on them dark journeys where all you had was that darn candle. Let's get into some tarot messages for our beautiful Virgos. Show us what they need to see, please. It's a power week for you. It's a power week for you, Virgo. It is. You may not feel like it because you may feel like you're really doing this on your own. You may really be going within You may be doing a lot of inner healing work, coming back to center, coming back to yourself. There is your Hermit card. That is the Virgo card in the tarot. So to me, yeah, it is a powerful, week. No matter what it is you're going through, it is all about getting in touch with yourself, getting to, coming to grips with some things within yourself, doing some inner healing work. And I also it's like a feeling of leveling up, it's like it's really time to level up to the next state of your being or state of your life, things that you've learned. Take some time for meditation, meaningful solitude, shine your light as an example to others, seek out or become a spiritual mentor. It's a journey of self-discovery this week. Let's get a clarifier on this for our Virgos, please. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's time to open up your vision a little bigger. And I know that's tough for the Virgos sometimes, because Virgos have, often a narrow vision. They don't always see things in big, broad terms because Virgo is detail-oriented. You're getting the very opposite energy here with this Wheel of Fortune. That's Jupiter energy, is very expansive, really helps open up your vision. So I feel like when you look at things beyond the very tight and narrow, there it opens up your vision, opens up your view. You can see things much bigger for what they truly are. It is also things starting to move in your favor, coming out of some kind of stagnation emotionally or mentally. Right in the center, we have the Queen of Wands, and that is Leo spirit. That's Leo energy. Some of you might be getting in touch with a Leo Sagittarius. There's some fiery energy coming in here. But to me, this is also embracing your own loving nature, your own loving heart, your own generous, kind spirit. She sits there with her little black cat. She is a queen of the esoteric, of the spirit world. She does have she has what it takes to create things out of nothing. It's reminding you to have confidence and belief in yourself, and don't underestimate your abilities. Let's see what we've got here for your clarifier. Four of Swords. Give yourself a little downtime too. Don't run yourself too ragged, Virgo. Four of Swords. Your heart may have really been through some things this week. And the Four of Swords is saying, you've been through a battle. Let's take a little time out. Love is a battlefield. Yes, that line comes up in this position for sure. And I feel like, if you've really been wearing your heart on your sleeve, really putting out a lot of your good intentions and your emotions, and it hasn't worked out the way you've wanted it to, or it's been a little harder going than you thought it would be, Four of Swords is saying, take a little break out. Outcome card is the Page of Swords. So I do feel there's going to be a lot of messages coming up, especially towards the end of this week, Virgo. This is very Gemini energy to me on this Page of Swords. It's a very youthful air sign, and so you may be getting messages. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, it's things coming through the ether. Don't forget, we are in a Mercury retrograde. Hey there, Corey Ann. And that does bring those hitches in communication. So don't be surprised if things get slowed down, if things get weird. There's a lot of miscommunications. A lot of things go weird in that area. So let's get a clarifier for the Page of Swords. And the Nine of Swords. So I do feel, wow, I mean, this could speak to you and your love partner or potential love partner, that both of you may be having a lot on the mind, a lot of worries, a lot of angst, a lot of just anxiety, stress, things that kind of keep you up at night. I think that, there's a really big reason for you to do this inner work, Virgo, to get in touch with your own mind and your own center so that this worried mind doesn't take you over. But either you or the person you're involved with or are thinking about, or both of you, there's some stress going on. And it may come out, as in the form of messages to each other, and it also may just be like they're really going within and really having, that dark night of the soul. On the bottom, we do have the Ace of Pentacles. So there is that getting back on the path, Spirit giving you some very tangible manifest gifts in your life. I don't what was I going to say? I don't hate that card. This is one of my favorites. This is a beautiful card. On the bottom, the Page of Wands. So new beginnings, especially when it comes to the things that you manifest, the things that you work on, the things that you're working to create. The biggest thing is, to stay out of that anxiety and that worried mind this week here. So let's get an affirmation on this for my Virgos. Love life. Yep, it definitely is about that this week. Affairs of the heart could cause problems, but take heart, as difficult situations will be resolved by good decision making this week. Yeah, I do. I feel like there's a lot going on, but there's that candle, there's that hope. So Virgo, just hang in there. Just hang in there. Take things one day at a time. Don't get too much into the troubled mind. Pull into this. Pull into your own power. Pull into your own strength. There's that Wheel of Fortune. It's time to grow, expand, move beyond the here and now. And I feel like, you're going to make some good decisions, and a lot of the things that you've been worried about, they're gonna resolve, or you're at least gonna get the answers that you needed about them. That's for sure. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I shall be right back, and we will start with our second half. We'll start with Libra, so I'll be right back. All right, Libra, let's see what we have got for you this evening. Let's see what's going on with my Libra family out there. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Libras for this week ahead in love and romance. Show us whatever they need to know, whether they are single, coupled, or in separation. This could be for anyone. And whatever needs to come through for your highest good. And please, Spirit, let's start out with one main card that represents their energy for this week ahead. Please show us Libra. Nice. I like that card. All right, so Paradise is coming in here, Libra. That's a beautiful, beautiful card. So I would say if love is already going pretty well, I would expect it to continue to go well, or maybe even improve or get even better. I would say this is also a time to really enjoy time in nature with someone you love, or if you are single, this could bring about where you do meet somebody very special. So let's get into your tarot. Let's look at what's coming up, please, for our Libras this week, Spirit, in love and romance? So we're starting out with our Queen of Pentacles. That is a very nice earthy energy. It's Capricorn energy, could also be Taurus and Virgo. So you may be dealing with an earth sign or feeling very much like an earth sign this week, Libra. Very, very grounded, steady, stable, and again, very connected to the earth, very connected to that earthy energy. So this can be the love of family, home, sensible approach to things, and the ability to make things more successful. Oh, and the Lovers. So, Libra, you may indeed be in love with an earth sign or falling for an earth sign or vice versa. The Lovers is also ruled by the sign of Gemini. We are in Gemini season right now, so that could also be a potential connection for you as well, but very, very nice. I feel like there's a lot of stability here in this relationship. If this is something that you're either just coming into or already in, there feels like a nice stabilization there. It's like you both want to have a plan, you want to have something manifest and go forward. In the center, we do have the Emperor. That is our Aries energy, so this is about taking charge, leadership. Again, we have another sign coming in here, so you could be with an Aries, but I feel like either you or them have this very strong, like, let's do it. Let's get something started. Let's start to work on this. Let's not sit by and not take, action on our feelings. That's a strong card as well. This is a nice read. Let's get into a clarifier, please, for our Emperor. And the King of Swords. Wow, you got all kinds of stuff going on here. So yeah, definitely making a plan. Definitely making some big plans here, Libra. Either you are, they are, you are together. And if you're meeting somebody or you're single, this could be some Aries, this could be some Aquarius. You got strong Gemini, earth signs on this, so very, very powerful indeed. You also could be meeting somebody that's just as ambitious and just as motivated as you are to get things done. Going into this last card, the Eight of Wands, that is a very nice energy of communication, forward movement. It's a Sagittarius card, and so to me, it really is. This is Cupid's arrows flying through. This is my good communication coming through for Libra. Boy, if this resonates with you, this could be a fabulous week, not only of love and passion and communication, but also this feeling of like, let's talk about actually doing something for the future. This is really cool. Let's get a clarifier on the Eight of Wands, please. Six of Cups. Ooh. Some of my Libras, this could be hearing from somebody that was very in love with you, somebody that's still thinking about you. You could be still thinking about them because the Six of Cups is about sentimentality, nostalgia. If it's someone brand new, you may feel like this is somebody you've known before. May feel very soul connected. Wow. On the bottom, we've got the World card. Things coming very full circle for you. Strong signs on this card: Capricorn, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, more Aquarius. But wow, this is probably the best reading of the night so far. It really is. And the Hermit on the bottom. There's some Virgo energy. You've got quite a lot of signs represented in this reading here, Libra, but it feels very positive. It feels like, if you're already with someone, it's really taking root and it's getting going and things are moving forward in a good way. If you're single or if you're in separation with somebody, that could be changing. That could be changing big time this week. Let's get an affirmation on this for Libra, please. Woo! Yeah, fiery week. Fiery, passionate week, Libra. Sexuality. Existing relationships could find new passion and heightened sexual attraction. Opportunities for marriage and good family life are strong. If single, be careful of temptations that could lead to trouble. Make sure that you're making good decisions if you're single this week, you know, because you may have more than one suitor. You may have more than one person coming your way, because we do have a lot of signs on this. We got Aries, Aquarius, Gemini, Capricorn, Sagittarius. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. I like it though. It's a really powerful read, Libra. All right, Scorpio. Let's see what we got for our beautiful Scorpions out there. I hope you are doing awesome, Scorpio. Hope you're having a good evening. Let's see what we've got for our Scorpios. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Scorpios this week for their love and romance messages. Show us whatever they need to know for their highest good, whether they are single, coupled, or in separation. Please show us Scorpio. All right, Scorpio, so health is coming up. And when I bring up this card in a love reading, I always think that it's really a focus on health in our relationships. Healthy relationships, good connections, really focusing on what makes our connections work, what makes them healthy. Is our relationship healthy? Are the people we're attracted to somebody that brings in good, healthy elements into our life or not? So let's get into your reading for the week. Nice. Okay, with some fresh energy. So we've got the Page of Cups. So communication is important, and that can tap right back to that health energy, because Page of Cups is all about, you know, talking things out. It can be apologies, you know, given or received. It can be forgiveness. It can be those softer, more, you know, intimate relationship conversations that really need to be had. It's definitely your energy, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer on that. So it is sensitive, romantic encounters, social invitations, talking to people, working things out. And we have the Queen of Cups, which is one of my favorite power cards for Scorpio coming up in this read. So to me, Scorpio, this might be a week where you really do reveal some of your inner emotions, some of your inner emotional secrets may, you know, be, you know, opening up to somebody else because you just feel very comfortable with them, or someone else, vice versa, opening up to you, which makes you feel like you can open up right back with them. That is so nice, actually. Right in the center, we have the Wheel of Fortune. That is a Jupiter ruled card. We have our little Jupiter symbol right there, so it has that Sagittarius vibration. It is also a card that incorporates you into the mix. It has Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio in this card. So to me, this is a card of good luck, things coming out of stagnation, moving forward in a more positive and open outlook. So let's get a clarifier on this. This can be the end of a lot of delays. This can be sudden progress, positive changes. King of Swords. This King of Swords has been coming out like crazy in all of these readings this week. Oh my goodness, he keeps popping up. So King of Swords, to me, that's the master strategist. This is Aquarius energy. It's independent. It's logical. It's diplomatic. It really is. It thinks with an eye to the future. It wants to make good decisions and good determination. So you may have a very futuristic week ahead, Scorpio. You may really be saying, okay, love is pretty good. Relationship's pretty good. Where are we going into the future with this? What's our next move? What's our strategy for the future? It's really opening up. lots of discussions coming through, new ways of seeing things and fresh new perspectives with the Page of Swords, because this is our little youthful air sign, some Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. So yet again, you know, this is all those intellectual challenges, brilliant insights, information coming through, and a new way of seeing things, fresh new way of seeing things this week, Scorpio. With the King of Wands on top, and it is about going out and getting what you want. That's that leadership energy. It's Aries energy. It's let's go get it. Let's go get what we want. So we are definitely having those conversations about what it is that we want to achieve. Oh, we got the star on the bottom. Scorpio, some of you might be involved with an Aquarius or someone that has that very Aquarian type energy, Aquarius or Sagittarius, that comes through to me with this. And it really is thinking about the hopes, the dreams, the wishes, the vision for the future. Big vision for the future coming in here. And look at that Ace of Wands. This is a great read, Scorpio. This is big, powerful, dynamic new life and new changes. Good new stuff coming in directly from Spirit. Could be a brand new, awesome next stage to life or new beginning in a love life. Let's get an affirmation on this for Scorpio. And luck. I love that this luck card has been coming up so much for so many of you guys. A sudden change of luck is likely. Yeah, I would say with this Wheel of Fortune coming through, things are working in your favor and an excellent time for networking as well. Yeah, because having that King of Swords, that Aquarian energy coming into this, it really opens things up big for the future. So beyond even love and relationship, Scorpio, this could be a great week for thinking about work, thinking about where you want to live, where you want to go, what's coming up for the future. Even if you don't act on it just yet, right? Because we are in a Mercury retrograde. Wouldn't act on it till at least after the 22nd. But look at all that. That's a powerful reading. There's a lot of dreams, hopes, plans for the future coming up here. You might also be kind of feeling this week, Scorpio, that you've kind of hit your stride and things are improving. That feels like some definite improvements. Let's get into Sagittarius. Let's see what comes up from a beautiful Saggies, my fire folks. All right, let's tap these cards, get them nice and cleared out, guys. Let's dig into Sagittarius. All right. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, show us our beautiful Sagittarians for this week ahead, what they need to know in love and romance. Whatever messages are out there for their highest good, please show us Sagittarius. Saggy, you win the money. So Sagittarius, money is part of your love week this week. Maybe you're getting a raise or promotion. Maybe your prospective honey is getting a raise or promotion. Maybe you're having arguments or conflicts or conversations about money, how to spend it, how to save it, where to put it. That could all be coming up as part of your week in love. Let's get into your tarot reads. Let's pull 3 to start for our Sagittarians. And Sag, keep in mind, these are for anyone, whether you are single, coupled, or in separation. Take them as they resonate to you. If it does not resonate, you may want to check the other placements of your personal natal chart. Nice. Very nice. Ooh, this could be like really strong for work or moving into a home this week. We've got the 4 of Wands. This is definitely our card of twin flames, soulmates, very strong love connections, happiness in the home, celebrations in the home. You may be feeling very strongly about who you're living with and where you want to be. If you're single, that's really what your focus is. It's like, you know what, unless I can have that with the right kind of person, I don't want to deal with it. Very high good ideals. If you're already in a relationship with someone like this could be going to the next level this week. You know, because we do have that money card coming up, you may be saying, yeah, we've got to think about what kind of home we can afford, what we can do, where we can live, what we can commit to. Let's look at a clarifier on the Four of Wands, please. The Strength card. So some of my Saggies, you might be with a Leo, you might be with a fellow Sag or Aries. These are all coming up in these fire signs. It really is about strength and courage. Some of you might actually be afraid or a little bit nervous, or your partner might be a little bit nervous about either considering moving into a home, moving in together, making that bigger commitment. And it does take a little courage and strength. Some of you may be literally going through the process of purchasing a home, and it may be just a real rigmarole, so it takes a little bit of courage, a little bit of gumption to get through the process of that. In the center, we have the Emperor, so more fire. We got a lot of fire energy. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, all in your reading, Sag. The Emperor is our Aries card, so it is about taking leadership, taking that leadership role and going out and getting what you want, taking charge of the situation. I feel like, you know, you are a powerhouse this week, whether you're in a relationship or not. But I feel like if you are in a relationship already, Saggy, you might be really stepping into your fire proper. Let's get a clarifier on the Emperor, please. Five of Swords, yeah, and I would say be very careful of dealing with anyone that isn't above board, people that are not honest or win at all cost. Those kind of people, you may be ready to just cut them on out of your life this week very, very strongly. And that can deal in both personal life or in business, right? That can have both effects. On the outcome, we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is, again, some nice earthy energy. So I do feel, you know, for a lot of you, you may be working on something around either building a home, purchasing a home, renovating a home. There's something to do with a home or real estate. And this to me is that feeling of, you know, you might be working with a lender. You might be working with somebody who is very good at finance to help you along this process. Because this is some Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. It's very stable, needs a plan, likes to make a plan, likes to plan ahead. Five of Pentacles, yeah, and definitely doesn't want to end up out in the cold. So I feel like that's really where your head and heart is. You know, if you're in a partnership, it's definitely where both of you kind of are, and that may be why there's a little bit of this nervousness and that need for the strength, because you want to make sure that you make good plans and you make good financial decisions so that you don't end up feeling like you're out in the cold. That's I feel it's pretty straightforward message. On the bottom we have the Nine of Pentacles. That's a very positive card. Very similar to the Queen of Pentacles and to the Empress, because this is the master manifester, the creator. I feel like, you know, the more happy you are and the more stable and balanced you are in your work life, the better all of the rest of this will get, because there is a real focus on money, finance, making good financial decisions this week as it relates to your love and romance life. On the bottom of the second deck, we have the Ten of Wands. So I do feel like there's some kind of end of a burdensome cycle. It may be something that's been weighing on you for a while, though. Maybe something that's been kind of weighing on you. Let's get an affirmation on this for you, Sagittarius. Intuition. Yeah, use your intuition about that. Even though this is a lot of practical concerns, trust your intuition. It's a great time to learn a new skill, change careers, or invest money. Yeah. It's a money week. It's a money week, Sagittarius. You're dealing with something to do with money. Even though it's a love read, the money is on your mind. It sure is. Could be on their mind too. Capricorn. Yes, me and my fellow goats hanging out. Hope y'all are doing great tonight, Capricorn. Hope everything is well. Hope you are doing wonderful. Hope you've been hoofing it up the mountain this week. I know this has been kind of a slow week. Saturn is in retrograde, your ruling planet, and so I can attest it's a kind of slower energy for Capricorn right now. I'm certainly feeling it, but let's get some love messages for you, my goaties. Let's see what we've got for you coming up this week. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors, please show us what you have for our beautiful Capricorns out there in their love and romance messages. Whether they are single, coupled, or in separation, please show us what Capricorn most needs to hear for their highest good this week. And let's start out, please, with one main theme card for this week ahead. Yin and Yang. I love this card. This is a personal favorite. So this is to me a card of balance. It's a card of balance. So in your love life and in your work life, because we always got to mention the work life for Capricorn, it's time for balance. It's time for, you know, an equal and opposite balance of both sides. So I would say that, you know, when it comes to love, comes to relationship, make sure, especially if you're with somebody, that they're being heard equally, that their contribution is being weighed fairly, because I know Capricorns we can be controlling. We're very ambitious and we're a cardinal sign, so we often want to drive the ship. Make sure that they're getting their equal say as well into the whole, Capricorn. And when it comes to balance between work and social time, make sure that you're having a balance of that as well. Whenever I see that yin and yang, I always feel as well a little bit of that Libra energy that is very much about finding your harmony, finding your balance, finding your equilibrium is very, very much part of it. Hi there, good to see you in the chat. Let's get into, these are general readings tonight, hun, so we're not doing personal questions, but thank you. Go ahead and pull 3, please, for Capricorn. I like this. I like the way this feels. Look at this. We're starting out with the Magician. So Magician energy is Virgo, it's Gemini, it's Mercury. And Mercury is retrograde this week, Capricorn. So just take that into consideration, that the things that you're thinking about, the things that you're working on may need wiggle room to be revised, adjusted in the future. Try not to do anything that's like too set in stone this week. Don't get too heavy this week, but this is a beautiful card for manifestation, bringing together all of the different parts of yourself to create something new. So Capricorn, this might be a really nice week to just sort of gather your resources mentally, you know, financially, emotionally, energy-wise, to say, what is it that I want to create? How do I want to accomplish my goals, right? Not so much a week that I would take action on them just yet, because we are with that Mercury retrograde until the 22nd, but this is a great time to start kind of doing that planning, laying the structure, thinking about how it is that you would like to bring things into being. So let's get a clarifier on the Magician for Capricorn, please. Seven of Cups, yeah. I mean, you've got a lot on your plate, Capricorn, and so that's why I would say go easy on yourself this week. Don't be too difficult. Don't be too hard on yourself, because the Seven of Cups is like all these options. You may say, well, there's a lot of things that I'd like to manifest. There's a lot of different ways I could manifest this or work on this. So lay it all out. Sometimes literally, physically, lay it out on the table or write it all down, because that will help you with that deduction process. Because the Seven of Cups can often lead to that feeling of being overwhelmed. It's like, oh, you know, you can even see it in her. She's like, oh, how do I pick? You know, because we've got to make some choices here. I mean, some of this is chaos, right? We got a literal hurricane in a cup. We got snakes in a cup. We got the heart. We got the rose. We got the, you know, the treasure. So some of these are really, really good options. Some of them maybe not, right? So it's really time, Capricorn, this week to start kind of saying, well, how is it that I would like to manifest greater love or a better connection with my current partner? All of that comes up in this week ahead. In the center, yeah, I would say definitely get some rest. We've got the Four of Swords, so don't be shy about taking those extra breaks, extra naps, backing away from conflicts. Conflicts are not good to have right now. They're not worth having right now because Mercury retrogrades are not good for conflicts, guys. You might have that argument and spend a lot of your energy and time and then go, what in the world were we even fighting about? That's what happens. So let's clarify this Four of Swords. Nine of Swords. Yeah, oh, Capricorn, because you might be really up in your head and you really do need some downtime. You know, I would say do not entertain the fears, the worries, the sleepless nights. Make sure that you are in a restive place. Again, you know, that's why that yin and yang, the balance is important, because it's like if you work yourself too hard, your mind will get so worked up that you won't be able to rest well. And resting well is important this week. Take some downtime, Capricorn. If things at work are slow, it's a message from the universe to just relax. Don't need to stress out too much. Page of Swords is in here too. That's a very youthful air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and it is a new way of seeing things as well. New kinds of messages coming in, new way, new perspective. You might be, again, you know, with the Page of Swords, often there is a need for reviewing paperwork, old things that maybe you need to take care of before you can keep going forward. Very, very nice. Let's see what we've got clarifying our Page of Swords, please. Five of Swords. So yeah, absolutely stay in a high vibration place. Don't take any unnecessary shortcuts, and don't deal with people that don't have integrity. Simple as that. You may be walking away from someone or some situations that just don't have integrity or lack, you know, truthfulness. That's a very strong one there. So let's get on the bottom. We've got the Six of Pentacles. That is balance. That is balance. Reciprocity, equal give and take. Taps back into this yin-yang energy because it's Taurus and Libra. And so I would say, you know, if people aren't investing in you, Capricorn, you don't need to invest in them. This is that feeling of like you give and give and give and give, and no one ever reciprocates. So don't get into situations like that. And if you feel you are in a situation like that, don't feel bad about pulling out of it. Don't feel bad about withdrawing from it. Five of Pentacles on the bottom. If you've been feeling kind of cut off from source, cut off from that, you know, higher energy, give yourself a little time to come back in from the cold, right? Many times that card is a matter of perspective. It truly is. It's a matter of, do you want to stay out here in the cold where you don't feel loved and you don't feel appreciated, or not? You know, you don't have to stay out there. So let's get a clarifier. Let's see what we've got as an affirmation on this for you, Capricorn. Burnout. Yeah, I do feel that, Capricorn, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of things kind of warning you not to burn yourself out here. Your hard work will see results, but your health needs to be maintained. Check in with a doctor if necessary or health professional and try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. So Capricorn, it may be a time to really relax when it comes to work. You might, if you can, just take a week off. I might be taking a week off. I might not be doing lives tomorrow or Sunday or next week. I might be just taking a break, guys, because it's been really slow in here, to be honest. And, you know, I'll be totally upfront with you guys. It's a lot of work for not much money at all. And I have other things that I can be doing to support myself. So, you know, it's I can feel that read. I can feel that read, and I feel how it kind of can interfere with your relationships. Because when you're not feeling very, I don't know, appreciated or respected or supported by the work you're doing, it can really play out in your relationships as well. Well, you know, David, I'll tell you straight up, you know, like I spent all that time, I post 12 videos. It takes a lot of time to do those. And I had not a single person donate at all during those premieres, not even one. And I get about $6 from YouTube. That's what I got for making over 6 hours worth of content. So that's to just put it in perspective. A lot of people that don't do this kind of work, they have no idea how little it really pays, especially if you're a smaller channel. So yeah, it's a lot, and my back hurts. You know, it's just, you know, it's tough because it's work that I love doing, but we live in the real world, unfortunately, and we have to pay bills and buy groceries too. So it's like, yeah, no, it's not enough, Corianne, and people don't, they don't talk about any of this stuff, so people have no idea. And it's like, well, it's honestly, I mean, I've been doing this stuff on and on and on. And, you know, I mean, if everybody could just drop a couple bucks, you know, in the lives, you know, if they were able to, it would make a big difference. You know, but that's honestly, back when I used to teach classes in person and all of that kind of thing, I would tell people, like, if you want me to keep being able to do this, you've got to come in, you've got to fill the seats. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to keep doing it. And that's the thing, you know, as much as you love it, as much as I truly love it and have such a passionate heart for this work, you know, I still have to live. You know, readers don't live on air. It's just the way it is, you know, just like any job, you know, we have to make something at it. And, you know, it's harder when you're a smaller channel, right? The bigger channels, you know, tend to bring in crazy amounts of money. Yeah, YouTube takes about 30%, just FYI. So, you know, and I, you know, it's not like you want to sit here like with your hand out expecting. I know that people have their lives and we are all going through it. We are all going through a lot of constraints and financial stress and struggle. Don't even get me started. That's a rant for a different Dragon channel for sure. I could go on a total rant about things with that and why it's very unfair for everyone. You know, but it's frustrating because I want to keep being able to do this. I really do. You know. Yeah, I do have PayPal as well. I always have that link posted on under the description box, Corey. Yeah. I have PayPal. I also do have Venmo. I guess I should put that one up too, but yeah, that's definitely what I'm feeling from that Capricorn read. Yeah. Definitely feeling that from the Capricorn read. Is just that sort of feeling of burnout. Like, yeah. You even said it. Wow. That's exactly what I've been feeling. Wow. All right, Aquarius. Let's see what we got. Got the Aquarians in the house, I hope. I hope y'all are awesome. Love my Aquarians. I do. I love them. One of my very favorite signs. I love all the signs, but I do love Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign that actually rules astrology, rules the study of astrology. All right, guys, so let's see what we've got. Dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, ancestors, please show us our beautiful Aquarius folks. Let's see what we've got for you and your love and romance messages coming through. And we have the Hope card. I love it. So the Hope card is that candle. Aquarius, if you feel like you've going through a dark night or difficult time or some struggle or stress in your love life, it's time to light that candle of hope rather than curse the darkness. Very beautiful card. So let's go into your tarot messages for the week. Spirit, please show us our Aquarians. What do they most need to know? Okay, so you're fighting for something. You're fighting, Aquarius. You might be doing a lot of work. You might be feeling actually pretty tired this week because of this Nine of Wands. You may be fighting for something that you care about very much. You could even be going to bat for your loved one or someone that you care about quite a lot, especially if they're kind of beating up on you or on them. But this is definitely feeling, you know, some strain and stress for sure, because it's that warrior. Five of Swords. Oh yeah. You might be doing some battle with some nefarious, creepy people this week with that Five of Swords. And I would say, you know, if you're having a battle over whether to hang on or to turn and walk away, personally I would turn and walk away, especially if these are people that have no integrity, would rather stab you in the back, and win at all cost and don't do what's right for you. So definitely, Aquarius, don't waste your energy fighting off these kind of people. I would just back off of them. Just block their numbers. Don't even engage. Right in the center, we do have that Queen of Pentacles. There's my little Capricorn queen. So, you know, you could be involved with a Capricorn, could be a Sagittarius, somebody kind of fiery or earthy, you know, but I feel like this is you wanting to really plan something solid for the future. If you are in a relationship with someone already, they may be doing that work with you with the little bunny rabbit, because we know bunnies know how to make more bunnies. They know how to create abundance. That's why the Queen of Pentacles has that little bunny rabbit, because she knows how to create abundance. You also might be linked up, Aquarius, with someone who's very good at creating more resources, knows how to work hard, isn't afraid of digging their hands in and getting stuff done. Why do we got all these creepy people hanging around you? Who are these? Seven of Swords, Five of Swords? What is going on? They may be dealing with someone like this too. Y'all might be, woo, Aquarius, you and your potential partner or current partner, you both might be dealing with some liars, some energy thieves, some ne'er-do-wells hanging around you. You might really have to do some house cleaning, because look at this Emperor. This is like, I'm going to kick your all's ass out of here, down the street, to the end of the driveway, and out of my neighborhood. I really do get that feeling. If any of you are dealing with people who are gossiping, maybe saying something nasty about you to your love partner, or vice versa, I wouldn't listen to it for anything. That's yeah. I think that y'all are going to be really sorting through who's really good for you and who's really not, right? Because like Queen of Pentacles is a really, like, you know, uncorruptible kind of person. This is a very, very solid, positive, down to earth, truthful. And then you got that Seven of Swords. So it's like, who is messing around with that? Like, that's, yeah, yuck. Right? Don't mess with them. Be the Emperor. Go ahead and cut right through to the heart of the matter. If you've got to stand up for the person you love or stand up for yourself this week, Aquarius, don't be afraid to do it. It's very bold. It's Aries energy. It has a lot of courage to just say what's on its heart, on its mind. Let's clarify that for you. Nine of Cups, because this is about fighting for what you really wish for, right? For really those hopes and dreams and wishes, the potential to come true. That's what I feel like you're really fighting for this week, Aquarius. It's very feisty. It's a very feisty week. Yes, look at this Lovers card. Yeah, and you know, the other feeling for some of you, not all, but for some of you, there may be this feeling like there are people that are jealous. Like if you've got something really good going on in your life, Aquarius, or you're working towards something really good, there could be people that are just straight up jealous of what you have, and they're trying to cause trouble in your garden. Because look at that. Nice Lovers card on the bottom. Always very healing, very sweet. Yeah, it's strength. Look at that. Stand up for your love, Aquarius. Stand up for your love. Be strong. Be courageous. Don't let anybody mess with what you got. Wow. Let's get an affirmation on this reading for you guys. Oh, and we have the friendship card. So very, very nice, Aquarius. A friend needs your help. Your kindness and excellent counseling will put them back on track. And vice versa. You know, you may need some counseling or some help as well, because it looks like you might have some people to kick out of your life. You might have some folks that aren't so nice buzzing around you and your honey. We don't want that. Yep, yep. Hey there, Monica. Good to see you in the chat, hun. Good to see you all. Stretch. Home stretch for our Pisces. Yes. All right, Pisces, let's see what we've got for you going on this week. I know this is probably a bit of a challenging week for Pisces because of the Gemini energy and the Mercury retrograde in Gem. But I think the other good thing that you do have going on this week is Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer, that's a fellow water sign that gives you a lot of nice support in your love life here, Pisces. So let's see what we have got coming in for you, dear angels, divine beings of light, guardians, and ancestors. Please show us what we've got for our Pisces out there in love and romance this week, what messages they need for their highest good, whether they're single, coupled, or in separation. Please show us, Pisces. Ooh, Pisces, you got a little dragon luck on your side. Love when the dragon card comes out. So very strong, very fiery, has a lot of strength to it. This to me also carries some Aries energy because the dragon in the lunar Chinese cycle is akin to the Aries sign in astrology. So you may have a little bit of that firepower coming through for you this week. Stand up, be brave, be colorful, be bright. This is definitely a powerful week with that dragon card coming out as your personal theme for the week. A little bit of invincibility there on your side. So let's get some tarot on this. For Pisces, please, let's start with 3. Wow. Wow, this is a powerful week here. My goodness. We're starting out with the 5 of Pentacles. So this is that scarcity consciousness sometimes here, Pisces. This can be that feeling of being out in the cold, cut off from either, you know, a soulmate or from the divine itself. It's really, to me, a matter of perspective that comes into that card, because it really is about, should I choose to just sit here and stay out in the cold and stay disconnected, or should I get up from this seat? Should I go inside the sanctuary where the lights are on, everything's warm in there, and go and change my reality, right? So you may be really feeling some of this as we start this week out. Six of Swords. Oh, I think you're going to make a good choice. I think you're going to make the self-empowered choice this week, Pisces. The Six of Swords is all about choosing to leave behind the struggles, the chaos, the drama, the difficulties, going towards a better place, calmer outcomes, better times ahead. Yeah, so I feel like I feel like most of you, yeah, if not all of you, are going to make the decision to get up out of that feeling of disconnection or loneliness or isolation or scarcity and say, you know what? I have the power to change this. I have the power to shift my thoughts and my focus, and you will. Look at the center card. We've got the Judgment card. We've got some super, super Pluto energy. That's a Scorpio energy. I feel like this is the higher vibration of the Death card. This is the renewal, because this is like that resurrection. This is the same as the Judgment card, by the way, guys, in the traditional deck. And so this is that revival, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Again, time to head in a new direction. Clarity on your life and your purpose. So I feel like in love, you might really be having some big revelations, big new awareness. Not everybody wants to hear this, but with the combination of this card and also knowing we're in a Mercury retrograde right now, this could be somebody brand new coming into your life. or somebody that has come from the past that you've dealt with before. It's a classic combination for that. Somebody coming in that it's like, okay, we've got some unfinished business. Let's see what's clarifying this, please. The Fool card. Yeah. Go with the flow of this, Pisces. Just trust in the process. If somebody drops into your life, literally says, hi, Pisces, I'm back. I've been missing you. What's going on with you? I would go with the flow, because there may be something that you really do need to either work out, whether it's healing and moving forward, or if it's just straight up closure. Going into the future, look at this in the week. We've got the release card, same as the death card. So we've got major Scorpio energy. We've got judgment and we've got death. Those are both the Scorpio power cards in the major arcana. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio for some of you, but for a lot of you, I think that this is really like somebody may very well pop in to your life this week. And most of you, I think, will make the decision to release it. I don't think most of you are going to hold on to it. Some of you might. Some of you might say, let's transform this, let's heal this, let's put it back together. Because this can also be those endings that lead to new beginnings. But this is also that time to release situations or people that have held you back in the past. It's a big spiritual transformation week when it comes to your heart, when it comes to your love. Knight of Swords. Yeah, I feel like whoever this person is, they've got a lot to say. They've got a lot on their mind to unpack, and you may or may not want to hear it all. Or you may have a lot to unpack on them, you know, be like, oh, really? Well, here's what I think. Emperor card on the bottom. I love this because it's Aries energy. Same as that dragon that you pulled for your theme of the week. I feel like this is you standing up for yourself very strongly, Pisces. I feel like if there's any kind of negative person from your past love life coming back in, wanting a second chance, whatever your current situation, whether you're currently single, in a relationship or not, I feel like you're really going to stand up to them in a big, powerful, fiery way. You're going to choose very much to love yourself and to put your own peace of mind and serenity number one. And I love to see that. On the bottom, we have the World card. So I feel this could be such an incredible week, Pisces, where you truly put something to rest. The World card is the last card in the major arcana. So it shows very strong conclusions, but it's happy conclusions. It's like, it's, you know, completions that make you feel so good. Like, oh, I finally made it to the end, you know, of the marathon. I made it to the end of this very challenging cycle, and I've learned so much, and I've come full circle, and I got the lessons, and I'm ready to head into a brand new door. Oh, just great. But you may be closing something out, and you may as well be putting into practice all of the things that you have learned about healthy self-love and respect. Very nice. Let's get into an affirmation for Pisces this week. Yep. Difficult times and change. I felt these two kind of come out together, so I'm going to take them both. The first was difficult times. So be on your guard against chaos. As unforeseen perils or emotional upheaval are foretold. I definitely see that. And then we have change. So a change of residence, partner, career, or job is in the cards. You're restless and in need of a change, and that's exactly what's coming your way. And I do just feel that, Pisces, what's really changing for you this week is that I see you letting go of something that either made you feel really sad or really unhappy, something that made you feel really disconnected. Maybe it was a relationship from the past where you felt you were never really getting what you needed. And so they may be popping back into your life, or something similar popping into your life this week, and it puts it into practice what you've learned about that, and it gives you this amazing like release, renewal, helps to complete some old cycle, and you really feel like you've gone to a new level. It's very positive, very, very positive feeling. So excellent reads, especially for you, Pisces. My goodness, that was a good one. So guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight. I'm sorry it was a slow night in the chat. It's very quiet. I'm not really sure what the future of the live streams is right now. I love doing them, but I really do need more folks to be here. So, you know, I'm not sure if I should just still come on Sunday and see what the crowd is like and then make a decision. Sometimes I think maybe it's good to just take the summer off because, you know, summer people just they're not hanging out by their phones and their computers as much. I definitely know that, you know. And with Mercury retrograde, we're all a little bit more tired for sure. We're all a little bit more tired. Yeah, and that's bad. Like, you know, I always try to be aware of other people's schedules and not all like go on at the same time, because then it's like nobody's really getting fed. You know what I mean? It's just, it kind of divides everyone up in a million different directions. I've always tried to be really aware of that, you know, to kind of realize it's like, hey, there's like other people on, so maybe that's not the best time. Yeah, maybe so, Corianne. I don't know. I just know that, you know, it does take a lot of energy from me to do these. And, you know, if people aren't there or they just don't show enough support or interest, then, you know, I have to rethink what I'm doing. That's all there is to that. Yeah, but he's not a tarot reader, HP. You know, I do know that I have a lot of his people from his channel, but he's not a reader. So, you know, I don't feel in competition with him at all. I don't really feel in competition with other readers. You know, that's not it. But it would be nice if we could just sort of, you know, plan a little better, even though I know there's a tremendous amount of readers that I don't even know about. So, you know, but they're not my followers, so I'm not worried about them. I can only tend my own garden, you know. But yeah, because boy, guys, I got a lot going on in my life. I've got a lot going on right now. The next couple months, oh, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. Because, you know, it is. But it's a lot. It's a lot that I have to take care of. Thank you, Monica. Oh, thanks, Monica. I'll pat myself on the back on that. I agree. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and you know, I know that my reads aren't so clickbaity, right? You know, I don't do the clickbait reads. I don't do that like, oh, your ex, when will he come back? And oh, is he crying all night over you? Or I don't do that stuff. I think that's manipulative. I don't think it's entirely ethical. It's not something I'm ever gonna do. It's just, I'm not gonna do that. Yes, your twin flame is coming back, and yes, he is a narcissist. What do you want to know? I'm more into the personal development. Thank you, Monica. You know I'm good, and I'll tell you, I had a wonderful astrology teacher. I had one of the best astrology teachers I've ever met in my entire life. And so if I'm a good astrologer, it's because I learned from somebody really good and I know what I'm talking about. I'm not somebody that just came to this a few months ago and decided to start a channel. It's kind of the opposite. I came to this, you know, well over 20 years ago, and now I've got a channel, right? And yeah, Corianne, I'm all about that. To me, it's about personal growth. You know, even in my love readings, I put a lot of that in there because that is huge. It is so huge. I was talking about this week to a couple friends of mine. We were all talking about it, is how the thing about love that's, you know, we don't get the right information. We don't get the right information growing up when it comes to you know, to love and relationships. We don't get the right information. You know, if we really had the truth, it would be, you know what? take all the love and energy and good stuff you feel for someone else. If they're not giving that to you, especially, give it to yourself. Be willing to love yourself as much as you're going to love whoever you love in a romantic relationship. Because if you're not essentially happy, if you're not good with you and your relationship with you, they might make you happy temporarily because there's that wonderful hormonal chemical rush of love, right? That's always going to happen when somebody new is there. And we might be really happy for a while, right? We might just be like in this bliss bubble for a while. But eventually, the newness wears off, and guess what? We're right back into a love relationship with ourselves. And if we don't love ourselves, we're still not happy. So it's like it's filling that cup within your own heart. You've got to fill your own cup. You can be supportive, you can be encouraging, you can be loving to someone. It's not to say that at all. But if you can't do that for yourself first, how are you going to do it for someone else? How are you going to give that to them? And how are they going to give that to you if they don't love on themselves? That's something I always encourage in my own relationship. It's like, you know, as I encourage him to love himself and don't beat up on himself, right? That's important. It's like, don't tear yourself down. Build yourself up. Remember that you're awesome. Remember the good things about you. Forgive yourself for your mistakes. So big. So big. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing, is like a lot of people, they get so focused on just finding that one or finding this person, this magical key that's going to unlock all their happiness. It's like, you've got the key. You were born with the freaking key. You can unlock your happiness, you know? They can help, right? They can, you know, and there's no doubt that if we have a good, supportive, loving person in our life, yes, it can complement and make us happier in our life. But it can't do it for us. Just like, you know, we can't walk someone else's path. We can't do their challenges for them. They have to do those. We have to do our own. And yet Disney, the worst, right? I think they're getting better. I think Disney is getting better over time. I think that they're starting to make, you know, movies where it isn't all about like a girl having to find the guy. It's, oh my gosh, right? They're improving for sure. Like Raya and the Last Dragon, you know, she's a Disney princess and her best friend is a dragon, and it had nothing to do with a love relationship whatsoever. It was all about her, you know, trying to save the freaking world, right? It's like, you know, so that's it, right? And to me, it's just, yeah, I grew up with that whole thing, and I have Venus and Pisces, so I'm like totally, oh yeah, I loved it, Lovecraft. I loved Raya. Oh my goodness, the dragon movie. Anything with a dragon, of course, you know. But yeah, you know, I have Venus and Pisces. I'm very prone to that sort of fairy tale, lovey-dovey, you know, thing. Oh my gosh, I'm such a freaking helpless romantic. And yeah, so I mean, it's like you grow up with that thing where it's all about just finding that one and it'll all just work out. And oh, nobody tells you how it really is. Nobody tells you what it's really about, you know? Even my parents, it's like they never said, hey, Ariel, most guys are really kind of crap. And you're going to have to be really careful with your heart out there. I think they had that naivety too. That was sort of like, it's just going to work out. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Hey there, HW. Yep. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to have a spaghetti night tonight. No, relationships aren't easy. Certain age, HP, I don't know. I think I don't think there's any age that relationships are necessarily easy. I don't. I think it really has more to do with, have the people in the relationship, are they doing the work that it takes not only on the relationship but on themselves to be good in the relationship? Because I'm telling you, I've done readings and counseling from everything from teenagers to people in their 70s. They all have troubles. All relationships are challenging at times. There's just no getting around it because humans are complex. and complicated. And yeah, there's no age where it suddenly is like everything is figured out. Yeah. Yeah, are they growing is key. That's a big one. Yeah. But it's, yeah, at any age, and it doesn't matter. I've had so many like women say, I wish I just liked women so that I could, get rid of guys. I'm like, yeah, okay, after you've done like how many readings for lesbian couples, you'll give up that notion very quickly. You'll be disabused of that notion that it's somehow easier when it's two women. No, it's still two people. It doesn't matter. Relationships are tough no matter what configuration it is. It's true. It's so true, I've known enough people and enough varieties of relationship to tell people absolutely, unequivocally, if you're in a human relationship, no matter how easy it is, there's still going to be challenges and things that come up. It doesn't matter. I'd love to say it's there's certain things that might be a little easier. Other things, not. It's been pretty much the same because humans are humans. We've all got our baggage. We've all got the things that trigger us. We've all got things that make us click, and squirrels and platypuses don't work well together. Well, that's interesting, but that wouldn't surprise me. Squirrels are like real cantankerous. They really they fight with each other all the time. Yeah, it's funny how birds and couples from our fellow earthlings, like they get into their squabbles and their conflicts, but they just don't take it so personal. Like a couple birds can really go at it and squawk at each other, beak each other, and get, but then they just let it go. They don't worry about it. It's okay, David. I'm a little bit gullible. So if you tell me squirrels and platypuses don't mix, I'll be like, okay, is that fun studied? Yeah, I don't think the two of them could really probably even meet. That's funny. I was just talking about the duckbill platypus and how bizarre that creature is. It's such a strange being. There's some really, truly unique and unusual beings in the world. There really are. Love it. Love it. All right, guys. Yeah. Yeah, I have to be careful, David, because people will tell me some kind of crazy thing and I'll be like, really? That's my Pisces side. I'm like, what? Then they tell me, no, I'm just messing. I'm like, dang it. I'm like, I kind of wanted that to be a thing. I don't like squirrels. I really don't. I don't like them at all. They're my least favorite creature on earth other than people. I'm so bad. Should I say that out loud? Yeah, the reason I don't like squirrels is because they are actually omnivoric, so they predate a lot of nest. They will actually raid birds' nest and eat the eggs, eat the chicks. And I know birds can do that to each other, but it's just so much more egregious when a squirrel does it. It's just, oh my God. It's like they have plenty of other things to eat. They don't need to be bothering the birds, and the birds have enough to deal with. That's true, Monica. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess what it is more to the point is I kind of hate what humanity has done to the place. I hate what they've done to the earth. I hate what we've done as a collective. And I know there's plenty of people that try to live, very conscientiously and all that, and it's a good thing, but on the whole, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the results. Because we've basically destroyed the planet. It's on life support, and we're just destroying all the species and everything out there, and it's just Yeah, it's very tough. It's very tough for me. That's something I've been passionate about my whole life, is the environment. So, yeah, it is. Yeah. No, we can't help what our ancestors did, David, but we could do a lot to change it. You know, we could do a lot to change it, and we don't. And that's the problem. That's the problem. You know, instead of continuing to rape and pillage the earth, why don't we stop? And why don't we make the people in control stop? Yeah. You know, sure, I can't control what people from the past did. I wasn't there to, get in their face and tell them what's what. They probably wouldn't have listened anyway, but, we can change it now. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Lovecraft. Absolutely, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, I may start a second channel to be able to talk about all this kind of stuff. Oh, yeah, well, the truth is, HP, we knew the effects of our industry 100 years ago. Nobody wanted to stop. That's the trouble. We knew. People saying we only know now, oh no. Go back to England when people were literally dying in the street from the pollution from coal fires. This was during Winston Churchill's time. This isn't ancient history. We have known for a long time that human industry has a negative effect on us and on other creatures. We've known this plenty long. We've known it. Even in the mid 1800s. In the mid 1800s, you know about the Donner Party? The people that, came out from the East Coast and, came down into, to go to California, which was what a lot of people were doing, right? And that was in the mid 1800s. And already in the mid 1800s, the cities on the East Coast had already become so polluted and nasty and gross that people were already wanting to leave. This is in the middle 1800s, before the Civil War. So no, we have always known. People have known. We've known about this stuff. We've known that we were destroying the place. We just haven't cared very. We just don't care. So that's, and like tonight, seeing a firefly was pretty amazing for me because, to be honest, guys, they're gone. Like they're mostly gone. When I was a little kid, there were so many fireflies, the trees would glitter. There were so many fireflies. They would glitter. The trees were just lit up. It was magical. I haven't seen anything like that in a good 20-25 years because people spray their yards with pesticides so that they can have a golf lawn, and we don't have bugs. Yeah, lack of fireflies. We do not see them. And when I was a kid, they were the trees were thick with them, and it was beautiful. Oh my word, it was one of the most beautiful sights. We had these big tall trees in my yard, and at night they would just light up. They would just sparkle. Yeah. Yeah, Monica. The other problem too in my areas is they just continue to deforest. Like there was this huge swath, acres, hundreds of acres of trees and forest, and after they clear cut it to put in these dumb condominiums, oh, we started getting coyotes and deer and all kinds of stuff in our neighborhood because they flushed out the forest and they had nowhere to go but our neighborhood. And it's just, I don't know. It's really a shame. It's a shame that humans have so little capacity for restraint and self-control. It truly is. That's what I think it is. We are not wise. We are not a wise creature. We're clever, real clever, but we're not wise. Yeah. Yeah, reforestation is important, but the trouble is, with that, is that we can't put back old growth trees. We can plant tons of little new trees, but the old growth ones are what really creates the big dynamics, and that's what we're, sorely lacking in. Not only have we already cut them down, but, you know, you gotta wait. You've got 500 years to wait for all those trees to turn into old growth trees again. Yeah. That's a heavy subject. It's a very heavy subject. The acidification of the ocean, the plastic islands in the ocean, the fact that literally all of our food now has microparticulate plastic in it. We are turning into plastic people. And it's no wonder. People are dying of cancer younger than me all the time. It does. It weighs on my mind all the time, HP. Big time. It's a huge, huge thing for me. It always has been. From the time I was a kid. When I was 11 years old, I became very turned on to all that stuff, environmental stuff. And yeah, it's huge. And it just makes me very sad because, 30 years later, I'm like, things have gotten so much worse. They were already bad back when I was a kid. But they've gotten so much worse, and they're not getting better. And, we have this idea that we're going to technologically save ourselves, which is complete BS. Anybody that's selling like a Green New Deal or all that stuff, it sounds like a great idea, but it isn't. I challenge anyone, go watch Planet of the Humans. It's a documentary that you can watch for free. That's a really good place to start. But, the things that, green technology, quote unquote green technology, the things that it takes to create it will actually do even more damage than what we're already doing. And that's kind of the problem, is like James Howard Kunstler always says, people want to change as long as they don't have to change. They want to be told that they can keep driving in their SUV to Walmart forever and keep buying crap and keep doing things exactly as they're doing and somehow still save the planet. It doesn't work that way. We have, the only thing that's going to change is change. We can't just keep doing the same things and expecting the same, a different result. Yeah. Oh yeah, Corianne. I've seen many, many, many documentaries about it. Oh my, yeah. We can't, going to an electric car is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, we can't go to an electric car because you know what those take? They take rare earths. And guess why they call them rare earths? Because they're rare. You have to mine and you have to frack and you have to do all kinds of things that are just as despicable, if not more so, to get them. And you get these people driving in these green cars and they're patting themselves on the back saying, look at how much I care about the planet. It's like, if you cared about the planet, you'd give up the internal combustion engine entirely and you'd walk everywhere. I personally, I know it's going to shock everyone, I've never owned a car. I've never owned a car. I've never had a kid. I compost everything. And so I'm as much as a human can make a small impact on the planet, I'm making a pretty small impact. I'm not leaving behind another generation of people to keep, eating the planet. I've always carpooled. I walk. I walk a lot, So yeah, I mean, and it does take a lot of discipline. It does take dedication. It's not as convenient, but I just, I won't do it. I won't do it, I'm totally fine with my with my genetics dying with me. That's fine. Yeah, and that's the kick, isn't it, Corey? That at the same time, especially in the US, the fact that we have anybody that's hungry or living in poverty or without health care, don't get me on my soapbox, guys, I get on a soapbox, it's just wrong. It's straight up, full stop, wrong. We have enough food, we have enough production to be able to feed everyone and house everyone. We do. We just don't have, it's not a priority. It's not a priority. Yeah. We waste so much food in first world countries. Oh man, that was a tough doc that I watched about food waste. It's not even just restaurants that you think, we'd always think of restaurants, but grocery stores throw out a tremendous amount of food that could be used. A lot of produce doesn't even make it to the shelf because it's blemished. And people, it's just, my sister, I remember a long time ago, she worked in a bagel shop. It was an Einstein Bagels. And at the end of the day, they would just throw away just bags and huge, bags of bagels and baked goods and all kinds of things. And they were perfectly fine. So she had to fight with them. And she said, look, let me find either some, homeless shelters, churches, resources that will take this and make sure that people get it who need it. And it was like a big harangue. She finally got them to do it, but it wasn't easy. Yeah. Right, Corianne. And that's another thing, is that people are so afraid to help someone because they're afraid it'll backlash. What is it Mark Twain said? If you take a dog, and a dog that's poor and down his luck, and make him prosperous, the dog won't bite you. But the same is not true of humans. Common sense isn't so common. Yeah. I wish I could do more. I wish I could do more. Yeah. It is insane what we waste. It's mind-blowing. What is it George Carlin used to say? Oh man, he had that thing about how we had, the wealthy, the ruling class, the very top, right? And then we had the middle class. He said the ruling class, the wealthy, they own everything and they don't do any of the work, right? The middle class, they don't own too much. They do all the work and pay most of the taxes. The poor are just there to scare the crap out of the middle class. That's from a George Carlin routine. Yeah. That's something that's always been a thing, is that smart enough to work the machine but dumb enough not to question it. Exactly, HP. Exactly. One of my favorite quotes, and I'm trying to remember the guy's name that said this. It is one of my favorite quotes ever. There comes a time when the operation of the machine is so odious that you cannot even tacitly participate. You've got to lay your body, the whole of yourself, on the gears, all of the mechanism, and you've got to indicate to those who own it and those who run it that unless you are free, the machine will be prevented from working at all. I think if everybody just struck for a week, can you imagine, for just a week, 1 week, if everybody struck and just said, I'm not going to work this week, I'm not going to do it, what would happen? Yeah. It's a thought. We think that we're not powerful, but if we all stand together, we are. I'm very familiar with the French Revolution, HP. Robespierre and all the guys. Yeah. Yeah, the French Revolution. I mean, that's something that people, they think about that and it's like, it didn't happen overnight. That's right. And again, we get into that division, and they'd love to divide us up. They love to divide us up by race, by class, by gender, by religion, background, ethnicity, age. They love to do it. the top ruling class, the billionaires, they love to divide us up, because guess what happens? And they've been manipulating the blame pattern for years. Notice how when something's going wrong, they've trained people into blaming people on welfare, right? They blame it on them. They're the ones grifting the system. Meanwhile, the billionaires are up there grifting us for more than a welfare person could ever take in a million years, right? So it's really, you know, it is. And they love it. They love it when we're all down here fighting each other, because then we don't pay attention to them sticking their hand in our back pocket, taking more of our money while we're fighting with each other. And, you know, division is a big deal. That's what it's all about, because they know that if people ever got together and come together and unite, then there's no way they would never be able to stop the change. You know, if we just, you know, peaceful protest demanded the change, or we're not going back to work. Okay. Right. Exactly. Yep. Yep. YouTube is probably going to take, is probably going to flag this video because of the stuff I'm saying. But it's all true. It's all true, guys, and we know it. It's the truth. Yep. They'd be like, wait a minute, she's not talking about tarot cards now. What's she saying? I could get a lot more incendiary than what I've said tonight. Yeah, I am an Aquarius rising, if you didn't know that already. My part of fortune is in Aquarius. I was, 30 years progressed Aquarius sun sign. And Aquarius is all about, revolutions and power to the people and overthrowing repressive regimes and tyranny. It is the sign of the radical. Aquarius shakes it up. Aquarius shakes things up. Shakes up the status quo. We're always the one that kicks the hornet's nest. We're just not afraid to do it. Hey there, Francisco. Oh, I remember when I was about 20 years old, and I was hanging out with a couple guys that were actually engineering my first album. They were working on my music with me. And I remember telling them the way I felt about the world back then. And I remember them just looking at me, and one of them said, man, they're like, you are dangerous. You're a dangerous mind. They're like, you're going to change the world. You keep thinking like that. I said, yeah, I am. We just need more people to come together. I realize we're all in it together. United we stand, divided we fall, and that's always the truth, and it's going to be that way with the planet too. Mark my words. We're going to see it. We're heading into the last couple degrees of Pluto in Capricorn, and that's been there since 2007. Pluto in Capricorn brings about huge consequences and repercussions for the earth. Yeah, it's huge, heavy lessons, because Capricorn is the last earth sign. It's also the sign that deals with money, banks, financial institutions. You've seen how much that's taken. You see, like the last 14 years, we've had so much more coming out about corporate corruption, financial corruption, credit cards and banks, and the corruption behind that. We've seen that, right? And it's because Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto reveals secrets. It reveals corruption. And so Capricorn, the element, the area that it's revealing corruption in for the last 14 years has to do with banks, institutions, finance, people that hold power. And it also deals with environmental things. It deals with things that you're responsible for, because Capricorn is that earth energy. You do the crime, you do the time. It's very much, it's like it's karmic. It's a karmic sign. And so that's why we're seeing this. Yeah, exactly, David. They're both garbage, because in the end of the day, does anybody's life really get better? Not really. Maybe one of them offends our sensibilities a little bit more than the other, but yeah, they're part of the same damn bird. I've said that before. Yeah. Totally, totally. And, you know, I've said that it doesn't matter who's sitting in the office because nobody's life is really tangibly improving. Do we all have health care? Nope. Do we have paid public college? Nope. Debt forgiveness for people that have, you know, huge college debt? Nope. These things that would actually revive the economy, the things that would actually get things moving, get people feeling happier and healthier and being able to actually go to a doctor or a dentist for a change. Oh. Yeah, and this is not different. And this is another thing. One of my best buddies ever, Utah Phillips. Anybody out there that hadn't heard Utah Phillips, go get Utah Phillips's albums, Fellow Workers, and the other album would be The Past Didn't Go Anywhere. And listen to those. Yeah. And it's really funny how we're assumed to be so self-centered. I think that's really unbelievable. Like, people will say to me, well, Ariel, you don't have kids, so why do you care about public schools or public colleges? It's like, well, I don't want the future generations to be stupid. So it would be kind of nice if, you know, and if I have to pay some of my taxes for other people's kids to go to school, I don't care. Isn't that actually a good thing if they're going to school? Isn't it a good thing if we have more people able to go to medical school and go to college? Isn't that a good thing? Yeah, that whole thing of, oh, we don't want Medicare for all, or we don't want health care for all, because why are you going to pay for someone else to go to the doctor? Well, gee, moron, because they would be paying for me to go to the doctor too. If we all paid into the system, or if, you know, actually, we do pay into the system. This is another one that's going to get me banned. That's another thing that can get me banned. But here we go, right? So we pay plenty of taxes, but where does it go? In other countries, they pay taxes and they get some modicum of health care, right? But in this country, we pay our taxes and it mostly goes to the military budget and paying the interest on the national debt. Not the debt itself, just the interest, so that we can stay credit worthy, right? Yeah, bank bailouts. Yeah, we just gave, what did we give Bezos? One of the richest men in the world who hasn't ever paid taxes. If he used to, he sure doesn't now. Richest man in the world. Well, maybe second. I guess Musk, you know, they're fighting it out for richest man in the world. Doesn't pay any taxes. I like that. But we gave him about, what was it? It was 10 billion or something. It was a crazy amount of money that the government just handed him last week. Because he needed it. Because he needed it. Because reasons. Yeah, exactly. There's plenty enough to pay for people to have health care, to have, you know, all these things. There's plenty enough for it, right? They could literally, yeah. Oh, you know. Oh, and Flint, Michigan still has dirty water, by the way. They still have lead-poisoned water. Just FYI. Under both Obama, Trump, and now Biden, Flint still has dirty water. Y'all, just saying. They're still drinking lead-poisoned water. And lead-poisoned water, guess what it does to kids? It destroys your brain forever. Destroys your brain forever. If you have lead poisoning as a child, your brain will never be the same. And they don't care. They don't care. Yeah. And this is America, the best country in the world. The one that's supposed to have it all going on. Gotta do something about it. But it's never been any different. It's never been any different. And this is why we need to understand the history of the working class. That's something, like I was talking about, my buddy Utah Phillips was all about that. He was part of the IWW. He understood a lot about, you know, the history of workers' unions and, you know, the working class in general. And, you know, back in the beginnings, in you know, the early 1900s, there were lots of strikes. There were lots of boycotts. There were lots of things that had to happen because it used to be that child labor was totally legal, not a thing. There was no overtime pay. There were no safety precautions in factories or mills or anywhere. People got killed and died young all the time, and there was nothing done about it. Benevolent, enlightened management did not give that to people. People fought for it. There's a reason we have an 8-hour workday. There's a reason we have safety precautions and measures posted in factories now. It's not because, they just woke up and said, oh, this is really bad for people. No, the workers fought for it and many times died for it. They had to rise up and change it. There was a famous strike called the Bread and Roses strike. And it was mainly from women. It was women that worked in the mills, the looms, doing the textiles. And the dust that would build up from all the textiles in those rooms that they were working in would destroy your lungs. And so these women were dying at the average age of 26 years old. And so they struck. And one woman carried a sign in that strike that said, we want bread, yes, but roses too. In order to say, not only do we want to survive, we also want to thrive, and we want to have a good life. And so that's what it took. That's what it took, was that strike. It became the Bread and Roses strike. So that's the kind of stuff. And we don't, guess what? We don't read about that stuff in school, do we? We don't. We read about the capitalists and the industrials and all the people that didn't get caught. That's who we read about. We read about the ruling class. We read about the history of the ruling class. The Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, right? The DuPonts. We don't read about the real everyday people like you and me who actually changed the course of things. And so when we go into the world armed with someone else's class background. We have no idea how to run it, how to work it, because we are, the Rothschild, there you go. They're the ones that, we learn their class background and we think that it's going to be like that for us. It's on purpose. It's totally on purpose. We're not armed with the right information to understand, our history or, the condition of things. That, we've always had to fight for anything that we've wanted. We've always had to stand up and take risks for things to get better. And I don't think it will change. That's not going to change. In order for things to really get better, we have to stand up and be willing to take risks. We have to say what, we're scared to say. We have to do what we're scared to do, or it's just never going to change, ever. And I feel like, too, if you study things like, heck, the Roman Empire, right? These kind of things have a way of falling. They do have a way of falling, don't they? Even when they seem like they can never fall. And America's the same. It's another empire. It's had a rise, and we're seeing its fall. We are seeing its fall now. And I feel like no matter what you do, no matter what angle you take on it, we're all going to be part of it when it starts to really go into full collapse. Same deal. Romans had the biggest military on earth. They were the big military power. They were hedonistic. They had more knowledge at the time than ever. Look at us. We've got more knowledge than ever, but we're so hedonistic. Yeah, we've got more ability to educate ourselves and everything, and yet we are decadent. We are, it's all familiar, right? Yeah. Read about the rise and fall of the Roman Empire. You get a lot out of it. And, we're mirroring it very strongly. And the other interesting thing, getting back into astrology, because this is still an astrology channel. Getting back into astrology, I'm gonna bring your attention to our boy here. This is our, or is it a girl? Pluto, what are you? What do you want to be called? Here we go. Yeah, Pluto, right there. There's Pluto sitting out. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. Pluto is currently at 26 degrees of Capricorn. All right, so 26 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto is a long planet. It's the furthest one out that we're aware of. in our solar system. We may have more, but that's the one we're most aware of. So, when Pluto is in a sign, the things that that sign rules go into big change and transformation and death and rebirth cycles. Pluto rules death, rebirth, resurrection, sex, sexual regeneration, physical regeneration, healing, etc. It's a definite death and rebirth cycle, and it stays in a sign currently for about 18 years. It's 14 years already in Capricorn, and it will be there for another 3. It'll in total it'll be in Capricorn for about 17 years this time around, by the time it finishes. So, as an astrologer, I get really into this kind of thing. I really do. This is an interesting, fascinating study for me. Because when I look at the times that Pluto has been in Capricorn in the past, and I line up the things that have happened while Pluto was in Capricorn in the past, it's pretty incredible, actually. Well, I will say, David, you know, being a Capricorn, it does show that Capricorn right now is coming into a lot of power, especially us late degree Capricorns that are sitting right in this energy. Like we are in a lot of power and a lot of transformation, and it is intense and it is very pressure. It gives a lot of pressure, right? We feel that pressure, but it's a lot of power because Pluto is raw power. That's why Scorpios tend to be very powerful people, because that's the ruling planet. So when it comes to rise and fall of empires, 250 years, give or take, is around the time that it takes. And guess what? That's the time that it takes for Pluto to make one full rotation through all 12 of our signs. America's revolution happened during Pluto in Capricorn. The French Revolution heated up during that time as well. So the last time that we had these major revolutions, these big upheavals in the 1700s, that was the last time that Pluto was in Capricorn. So we're back in that energy again. And so when people wonder why we're experiencing all this change, all this dynamic stuff, all these things sort of coming to the surface out of nowhere, why is it that, you know, I mean, when the 2007 started, the time that, you know, the housing market crashed when Pluto went back into Capricorn, big financial repercussions because our system was falling, right? And it deals with those financial systems because it's Capricorn. Capricorn is big business. It's big banks. And guess what, too? You know, because of Pluto being, you know, a sign that reveals mystery, secrets, and corruption, people are starting to realize back in the old days, guess what? Something like Amazon and Jeff Bezos, they could have just chugged along, nobody looking at it, but now we're looking at them and we're realizing you are exploiting your workers, you are treating people like crap, you've done everything possible to get to where you are, because nobody becomes a billionaire by just being a nice person working hard. You know, if that was true, we'd all be billionaires. A lot of people would be billionaires, right? So that's why we're seeing so much of this, you know, business corruption, government corruption, financial corruption, all of these, because Capricorn also rules institutions. It rules systems. It rules foundations. And it rules those things that feel like they could never be changed, could never be altered. But when you add that Plutonian energy to it, ooh, there's a whole lot of shaking going on. We're starting to reveal the layers. We're starting to pull back the onion and see what's under the surface of all those big businesses and corporations and banks and the Federal Reserve and everything else, right? Yeah, it would be a beautiful sight, HP. So Monica, yeah, Pluto will be in Capricorn until March 2024. And I would also say that Pluto is slow power that builds over time. And so I will tell you that the next 3 years combined may be even more intense than the previous 13, 14 years. Because it builds over time. Plutonian energy builds up over time. You feel it. It's like a snowball effect, right? It starts out a little small, And it's going, it's going, it's going, but then it gets bigger and it gains in momentum. And that's how many times those further outer planets have an energetic impact on Earth events and on ourselves. We feel it, we feel it, feel it, and then it gets bigger and it gets faster, and it's like, whoo, 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 you know, it really accumulates. And so that's why I would say, yeah, next 3 years, we'll probably feel the results even more than the previous 13 to 14. And then after that, it goes into Aquarius. That's when we might have the truly explosive revolutions, people's revolutions, because it's Aquarius, right? It's powerful. Power to the people. Power to the people indeed. Yeah, and that's another reason why last year was particularly difficult during like the COVID and all that when that happened, because last year Saturn here was also in Capricorn. Now it's moved to Aquarius, but Saturn last year and Jupiter as well were both in Capricorn, and they were traveling along with Pluto, which was adding extra oomph to the rumph. So this is why last year was especially fun. And I say that with all irony and sarcasm. Yeah, it's a big reason for that, because it has that chickens coming home to roost kind of thing. You can't, I mean, you know, an illness like that, pandemics like that, they can't happen without the, you know, the consequences of modern technology and the way that we live now. They can't happen without that. If we weren't traveling and flying all over the place everywhere, you know, and expecting to do everything and be everywhere all the time, these kind of things just wouldn't proliferate on the level that they did, right? So if you want to get even more interesting with the Pluto and Capricorn travelogue, go back another 250 years from the 1700s and look what was happening during the 1500s. Ooh. During the 1500s, we had Elizabeth I. She had come into power on the heels of terrible, terrible times, you know, for the English government, right? They were practically bankrupt and absolutely a wreck till she, you know, came into the scene. And, you know, there was quite a lot of drama there. There's quite a lot of drama in there. And we also, at the same time, during the 1500s, that was really when the samurai in Japan and that whole system, that feudal system in Japan was happening. That's when we had all those, you know, those huge battles in Japan and throughout the Asian continent. So, you know, the 1500s were definitely big pressure too. A lot of rise and fall of empires, a lot of changing around in there too. Very similar energies. It's interesting to, you know, to go back. You could go back to the 1300s as well. Then you're getting back into like William Wallace times. Seriously, like you can just keep going back in history, and pay attention to the things that were going on in history along with the astrology. It's pretty wild. Yeah, it's pretty amazing actually. When you line those things up. And so that's why I say, you know, America, you know, when you think about empires lasting in these astrological ages of around 250 years or so, America is about 244, 245 years old. You can do the math. We can do the math. Hey there, Toxic. How you doing? The gang's all here. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's so much. This is why, for me as an astrologer, I can talk about this kind of stuff for hours because it's so fascinating. There's so many different things that it can be applied to. Generational experiences, you know, just all of that. Historical experiences, personal experiences, current events, not so current events. It kind of ties into a lot of things. It ties into a lot of things. So that's a big reason why we're seeing so much of this coming to the surface in a big way, and it's coming into the surface in a bigger way than I think it has in the past. You know, I feel like it's reaching that kind of crisis point, that boiling point where, you know, and a lot of people have said that it's like at different times, maybe one certain thing was upsetting or one certain thing was challenged, but now it feels like everything is challenged. It really does. It feels that way on every level, environmentally, personally, work-wise, professionally, mental health, all of it across the board. You know, tyrannical or oppressive systems or regimes. Look what's happening in the public with cops, with police enforcement, right? It's all happening, guys. Every bit of it's coming to the surface to be looked at and dealt with. And the abuse of power is a big one because Pluto is pure power, and Pluto doesn't like abuses of power. It's like you have to wield the power for the right reasons. You can look at that like in your personal chart. You look at where Pluto is and you see where is your source of power. How are you using your power? Are you using it for the good of all? Or are you using it just to enrich yourself to your own detriment? And I think that we're really, you know, as well, we've got to transform and look at the systems of greed. That's, you know, greed is at the core of it all. It's not the money, it's the love of the money. Right? It's not the money, it's the love of it that gets things real wacky. Yeah. Yeah. It's the greed, you know. It's not wrong to want to make money. It's not wrong to want to have a job. It's not wrong to want to get paid for your work. What's wrong is when, you know, you're a billionaire and you've got employees without health care living in tent cities because they can't even afford to drive to work. That's what's wrong. Right. Exactly, Monica. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. It's, yes, and it is hard to get your mind around that. Because of, you know, to me it's like someone that's hoarding wealth, how is that any different than if they were hoarding cats or newspapers or something, you know? And we've got to change that like the way that we see that. If somebody's hoarding, you know, obscene amounts of wealth that they could never use, we call that great. Oh yeah, look at all that money they made. But if somebody's hoarding cats or living in a, you know, hoarding situation, we say, oh, they're so mentally ill. What's wrong with this person? And it's like the same thing that's wrong with the person hoarding obscene amounts of wealth. Same dang thing. They're afraid of something. They're afraid of scarcity. They're afraid of loss. They feel insecure. All of those things. Same things apply. People that hoard money are mentally ill just as much. Absolutely, HP. You speaking my language. Exactly, Terry. I'm the same way. I feel the same way. Yeah. Exactly, Monica. I think about this stuff a lot, if you can't tell. Yeah. And actually, the funny thing is, I've actually read some articles about how people like in the, you know, freaking, you know, in the old days, the old ages, probably actually had it easier than we do because they had a lot more days off, you know, like old farmers and stuff. They had it a lot easier because they were given a lot more time to relax than we are now. Yeah. So actually a lot of, you know, a lot of these like peasant societies and stuff like that, they probably actually had it better in a lot of respects. Not that they had it great, but they probably had a lot more downtime. They didn't have to be on their feet working at a job, you know, 40 to 60 hours a week. Yeah, life was a much simpler thing. All right. We're still vulnerable to disease. You just wait. COVID's a bad hair day compared to what's coming. It's just a little sneeze compared to what's coming. I'll get banned for that, for saying that, but it's true. Yeah. You know, it's only a matter of time. We've set up all the dominoes. It's only a matter of time before one little thing flicks that little domino over. You know, and if anybody has, you know, people can disabuse themselves of the idea that people will behave all nice and rational when it comes down to, like, if you think that people were, oh, thanks, Toxic. It's calming while I talk about all this incendiary radical stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you think about what people were going through with the Black Plague, I mean, that was infecting what percentage of the population and killing just as many. I mean, when we get something like that that infects like 80 to 90% of us and has that kill rate, forget it. We won't be hoarding new toilet paper anymore. That's what blew me away about all that. It was like, oh wow, we're having like this thing, and the first thing that people think about is their toilet paper. It may not have anything else, but at least that part's of me covered is covered. It's like, what's this? Yeah. People are calm and rational until they think there's something to fear. That's why I always say it's like, you know, the individual can be very intelligent, but the masses, wow, the masses, scary. Exactly, Monica. So true. Yeah, how to grow vegetables. You know, and I've listened to a lot of people's thoughts on that. One of my favorite people that I really dig is James Howard Kunstler, and he's written and talked a lot about that through his life. Hey, Laurie. We already did all the readings. We're sitting here having a radical revolutionary chit chat. um But yeah, I mean, he's one of those, you know, that likes to do the homesteading and the garden growing and all that stuff. And he said, you know, it's great to do it, but in reality, we're so dependent on the system that we're dependent on it in ways we're not even aware of, right? You know, we're dependent on it in ways we're not even aware of. And the truth is, no matter how well you prep or no matter how, you know, much you think you're ready for it, you're not ready for it. You know, it's it's sobering. It's sobering to really see that um we've also spent so much of our resources already on setting up this industrial system. You know, where are we going to get more raw materials other than we'd have to somehow try to recycle or reuse or upcycle things? You know, just the interstate system alone. Look at all the time and resource and everything that we put into creating that mess. Do you think that that really has a place in a world off the grid? Not so much. You gonna ride your bikes and your horses down it? Yeah. And heck, we don't even keep the highways in good repair. Our infrastructure is crumbling apart. Yeah. It's a lot to take in. It's too much for just one mind to take in. It truly is. Like, this is where we need our Virgos and our Aquarians to start organizing and delegating work, right? You know, because just one person can't do it all or can't take it all in. You know, that's why we need huge communities of people. One person just growing a vegetable garden isn't going to be able to support themselves. No. Right, exactly, Corey. Now that's intelligent. I mean, that's true smarts. That is, right? Yeah. I mean, that's really what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to start reusing a lot of the things that we've wasted if we want to keep going. And we're going to have to get used to doing less with less. Yeah. Slower pace of life. That's what, you know. And that's hard to ramp down because people's expectation of life has become so rapid. It's become so fast. And to ramp that back down into a slower expectation an expectation where we will not be able to fly and travel all over the world, an expectation where it will be a lot different. That's hard to realign. Yeah, and I hear you, Lori. And isn't it funny how there's so many people that feel like they just want it to stop? My mom used to have this funny thing she would say. She'd say, "Stop the world, I want to get off." Because I think that deep down, and it's interesting, like in popular culture and movies and shows and things like that, there's a preponderance of end of times kind of stories, whether it's something like the zombie apocalypse, like The Walking Dead, or, you know, just these kind of end times, you know, sort of scenarios. And I think people are, it's in the subconscious, right? It's really, we're thinking about that. We're thinking about, well, what would that look like? Because we can all kind of sense that we're headed for a crash. We're headed for some major cataclysm. We know that the way that we're living can't last forever. Even if we don't like know it cognizantly, we kind of feel it in our gut, you know? And so I think that, you know, a lot of people are really, you know, they're contemplating that quite a bit. And what's that going to look like? And how would you navigate it? How would you navigate that world? And so I think, too, there's a fascination around those subjects because people sort of think, you know, I'm kind of scared of that change, but at the same time, I kind of want that change because the modern world has gotten so stressful and so painful and so unhealthy that we kind of go, gosh, yeah, it would be nice to just have it change, even if it was really tough for a while or forever, right? You know? I think people used to live shorter lives, but those lives were very fulfilling, much more. You know, I mean, what was it, Jane Austen? She didn't even make it past her 40s. But look at all the books she wrote. Look at what she created. Vincent van Gogh died at 37. Look at the art he created. You know, a lot of people that we extol, their literature, their art, their everything that they did. They didn't live these super long lives, but they lived lives of passion and they packed a lot into those lives. You know, we got people living 80, 90 years now and they don't get anything done and they just feel like, what was the point of that at the end of it? There's a lot more distraction now, too. There's a lot more distraction now. People didn't have all those distractions. They had to make their own entertainment. They had to really use their imagination and their ingenuity and their observations. But in general, yeah, people didn't live as long, but yet they did more. They made great things. That's my meanderings, my musings. Capricorns do tend to live a long time, David. We have longevity. I think a lot of people live a long time and feel unfulfilled, Monica. I do, unfortunately. I think a lot of people never find the kind of love they wish they had. I feel like a lot of people never have the gumption to do the kind of jobs they wish they could do. You know, and our society really pressures that. It really does. It really does. You know. David, you're funny. Keep going, goat. Keep going. Yeah, Capricorns tend to live a darn long time. We just have longevity. And we age in reverse, so we actually kind of start to get younger as we get older, so we just never really get a break. I think that if we had, you know, I think if everyone had medical care that couldn't be taken away by their job, people would be a lot more emboldened to start businesses and do jobs that they love because they wouldn't be afraid about losing medical care or having medical care. I really do. I know that that's the truth for me. I mean, I've never had a job that offered me medical care. I sure don't now, you know. Being a musician, being an astrologer, being a tarot reader, do you think those come with a pension plan and a 401k? No, heck no. Absolutely not. Exactly, Monica. Yeah. I mean, and it's just, you know, to me, that kind of thing would empower a lot of people to be able to really, truly follow their dreams. You know, I've said that before. I was like, yeah, in America, we tell people everyone can follow their dream as long as their dream includes, you know, the corporate job where you can have the healthcare and the all the stuff, right? If you actually want to follow your real dreams, you know, get ready for a lot of years of struggle. Get ready for it. Yep. But I often say I would rather do, Dalai Lama said once about how people, you know, they go and they kill their health at their job to get money, to pay, to try to get their health back after they ruin it. Something like that. They live thinking they're never going to die, and then they die never having really lived. Something like that. It's very profound. Well, when you do astrology and you do, you know, this kind of work, you recognize that everybody has their gifts, talents, potentials, the things that, you know, are really at their core, right? They're all at their core. And if we really had awesome, empowered people that were able to go do what they truly wanted, we'd have a much more amazing society and a much more fulfilled planet. We really would. It'd be a very different place. Oh. Like me, I found out I was a dragon, so I was like, yes, I'm a dragon, I'm gonna be a dragon. That's it, you know, I just ran with it. Yes, it does, Monica. It takes an almost extraordinary amount of like, I don't know, partly strength and insanity and bloody mindedness. I don't know. It's not easy. It's not easy. No. It takes a lot of nerve. Oh, Corey. Is it hot where you are, hon? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's actually gotten a little cooler here. Down south. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Boy, I've been through those years without air conditioning in the South when we just couldn't afford to fix it. Oh my gosh, yeah, those are some times. Lots of ice and popsicles and cold showers. Well, David, you know that Baltimore is a special kind of hot. I've said that before. Baltimore is a special kind of hot. It's not the same. Yeah. Oh, toxic. I had a terrible headache last night from the rainstorms. It was real dry, like yeah, and then it started. Then it started. And I was like, yeah, my head was killing me. I can always feel that pressure change. Isn't that funny? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wow, Corey, that's a big change. That's a big shift. I've been there and I've done that. Yeah. I know, right? So worth it. So worth it to not have to go through, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Back when I lived in Oregon, most of the places in Oregon don't have air conditioning because it's all older buildings. And traditionally they haven't really gotten that hot in the past, right? But now with climate change, you know, it gets real hot there in the summer. And it's rough. Yeah. You might be able to get yourself a little window unit. Corey, that's what I ended up doing. And it really made all the difference. It was just enough to take the, you know, to take the real brunt of it off. That's makes it really tough when you have that much. You know, it's funny, just thinking about the other thing that's going on astrologically is Neptune being in Pisces. You know, Neptune's been in Pisces, wow, for almost, what was it, about 7 or 8 years now?